And we begin. This is another one of these episodes. We got way too many people for this episode, but you know what? This is a fan idea, so we're doing it with the fans. We're doing it with the dogs for this one. I have
To be fair, we were already here.
We were already here. You were already doing all this stuff. So, behold, we're doing another one of these episodes where we decided that there's so many totems to talk about that there's just not enough to talk about for just one episode. So we're doing another one of these as everyone is here. So we got going to line. We got Dan, Eden, Intergener, King Greed, and Shani have joined us for this episode. Yay! And we get to cover all the totems that we didn't cover in the first episode because that was just going to be extremely clerical if we just went over totems, what they did mechanically, and then that was it. So, yay, there's that. So, behold, welcome everybody. We're going to see if this works better than it did the last time with the Kinfolk episode. If I could do that all over again, I would. Alright, let's get into it.
Why not do it next week?
I think that was our best.
We're not. There's not enough content to do a second Kinfolk episode. There's nothing else to talk about. That episode was supposed to be 10 minutes long at most. Let's see what we got here.
What about that one thing or thing that we haven't said?
But the thing, while you're talking about the pariahs?
No, the other thing.
The other thing. Well,
Your hatred of the kinfolks is so baffling.
You're being cryptic with this information, Ryan. I don't know what we're talking about.
I know.
He's talking about the. He's talking about the
Outcast Pariahs was next week.
Yeah, that is next week. There it is. We got some classic misdirection going on in here. Is what happens when you got a BSD in the phone call with you.
That's misdirection to you.
There it is. I don't think we ever set up a character for Shani in terms of what she'd be in World Darkness. Just going to line. See. But we'll think of it eventually. Alright, let's go down the line.
Alright.
So what did we not cover in the last episode? Farah totems. That's something that comes to my mind immediately. We did not cover the Farah. Alright, so when you go...
Bane totems too.
See, Bane
There's also mage totems as well.
Mage? Fuck off with that. We're not doing anything with Mage the Ascension.
Oh, well, I was just looking, speaking of mage, I was just looking up, well, not mage, but changeling.
Changeling.
The Manen.
We could try going over to his kind of stuff. And we switch over to, let's see, Firefox. It's a little zoomed in. Let me zoom that back out. That's here we go. You'll see me doing all the finagling in OBS. Yeah, here we go. So get this in line. Thankfully, with the World Darkness Wiki, it seems that just about every totem is documented with this. As you see right here with this Totems tab. We'll open this. I'm going to be going in and out of this tab because I don't know if Wikia wants to do pop-ups all the time on my page now. But yeah, it's got a pretty comprehensive list of just about every totem there is. So you get to check out all this stuff. So go ahead and close some of this. But for the sake of, I don't know, saving up on RAM a little bit, making sure this isn't trying to weigh me down or like try to hack into me, we'll just hop back and forth between some pages. So yeah, there's your thumbnail, everybody. We're not actually using that for a thumbnail. Get out of this. Get out of it. All right. Let's show this Wix link. Let's see what's on this. I'm going to take a look at what's on this, and we'll go over these one at a time if we haven't covered it already. I'm already seeing some stuff. Dan, shall we go over Coyote first?
Well, what parts do you want to go over Coyote about?
See, well, who is Coyote the totem of?
Well, Coyote is kind of just the totem of the Nuisha, but also the Garou also use Coyote, and even, I don't know, anybody can use Coyote because even he doesn't even have any banes. That's
there's a whole ongoing theory that
or bands. Sorry.
That Coyote might be a face of the wild or the wild itself, because nobody really seems to know what's going on with Coyote. He's this super old cosmic being that was around the same time as Raven, and Raven saw the universe being made and saw the Weaver and the Worm fighting in outer space, which old Wolf of the Woods can't do. But Coyote can, and you have the whole legend with Coyote where he was Luna's housemate after the Weaver killed everything on Luna's surface. Coyote just moved in and has never left. And after all, you have, was it the beginning of the Nuisha book, you have the whole comic where, I think it's Old Man Many Skins? Is that it?
It was Old Man Many Skins, yeah. And he just, he's on the train. He's off the rails of a crazy train going into Malpheus.
And he goes into Malpheus, and you see Coyote in the stars looking at him. So the implication is that Coyote is this cosmic being that's way stronger than anyone gives him credit for.
Like, he's hiding his power level, I guess you could say.
Yeah, if you were using Coyote in your Chronicles, how strong are you going to make him? Just how tough is Coyote here?
Honestly, if I'm putting Coyote as a totem, it's a plot point.
It's a plot point.
And, yeah, and I would say that, or a punishment, actually.
A punishment.
Because, I mean,
a punishment.
I mean, like, because you do lose honor just by actually taking the totem.
And
but I mean, like,
you gotta deal with Nuisha and their bullshit all day.
Possibly.
Yeah.
but I mean, like, but yeah, it could be just a lesson that the players need to learn because, I mean, Coyote is a teacher. Not as good of a teacher as Raven, but you know what? He's a different kind of teacher.
Yeah, he's a teacher. He's saying, what have I learned today? Did you do something stupid? Well, did you learn not to do that stupid thing again? And sometimes he's the one that sets you up to do the stupid thing in the first place. It's the whole, do as I say, not as I do kind of teacher.
It's more like, you see that shiny red button? Don't touch that red button.
The shiny, jolly, candy-like red button just waiting to be launched.
Hands down pressing that button.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's a button.
It's a button. You get to play Call of Duty padded chair.
Oh, God.
If I knew Stephen Colbert wasn't on content to claim the clip, I would play it. But
like, the thing with Coyote, like, in terms of, like, his power-ups, I mean, they're okay. They're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're fine. You get extra dots to your, subterfuge and stealth.
Yeah, I got it pulled up on the page right here. Cody gives his pack 3 dots in stealth, 3 dots in streetwise, 1 dot in subterfuge, and 1 dot in survival, which is pretty good. And he always gives he always has the ability to find his children, whether they're in the Umbra or not, wherever you might be. And, well, of course, when you take him to Nuisha, are going to like you. But Cody has no ban. He has no ban.
He would never, ever put any strain on his children.
He says as he winks in the camera.
Yeah, like he says he has no... That's the funny thing is that he has no ban, wink.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he's Coyote, so...
Because after all, when you look at the Native American mythology, coyotes frequently pop up as trickster spirits. And but you got that video of the guy that got attacked in Canada with the coyote that can't hurt him. And it's trying to lure him into pinning him, and then it runs away, and then it runs up and tries to bite him. Because how slippery is a coyote to catch?
I mean, like, I'm not really sure actually myself.
As in,
I do know that
pretty
they're
scruffy.
actually...
If you can get your hand, if they stop moving, really easy actually. The issue is they very rarely stop moving.
Yeah, and after all,
and there's also I've heard that there's a lot of them, and there's actually a very worrying. It's actually very worrying, like down like the southwest of the United States.
Oh yeah, I live in the southern parts of the United States. And I can tell you that.
No, the southwest of the United States.
Oh well, like Arizona, New Mexico, California.
Yeah, exactly. I even heard that they've actually there's like off breeds of coyotes that have actually bred with wolves as well. So
yeah, the Coy wolf, and then the Coy wolf is sterile and can't. No, it's the Coy dog that's sterile, and then can't procreate with anything. But then you have the Coy wolves. Where I live, I've never seen a wolf in the wild in my life. I've done a lot of camping trips. I've gone to the Appalachian Mountains several times. I've been all the way up and down hiking from West Virginia down to South Carolina, and not once have I ever encountered a wolf. I have encountered a coyote, and it didn't bother me while I was on the trail. Just like you see it at night, and like it runs away from you after you shine your flashlight on it. But also, they'll want to hang around your backyard and look for your cat, and they want to eat your cat. They want to eat your tiny dog. They're looking for your pets.
Like I've seen coyotes even like where I live as well.
The Nuisha are going to be a big thing in 10 years. There's going to be Nuisha everywhere. We're going to have 100 more Nuisha into the world. We're not going to have the limit of 100 anymore. There it is. Coyote's going to stop playing with the kid gloves on. He's going to take them off, and you're going to see the Nuisha population explode.
You know, he says that there's only 100 of them in the world, but I mean, who's going to trust that? Trust whatever he says.
Yeah, Coyote says a lot of things.
Terrifying. Terrifying. I don't like this.
I would believe him.
You wouldn't believe him. The man's still,
I would.
He's only bullshitted me how many dozen times.
Coyote's never lied to me.
That's the whole cosmic thing. Is that enough on Coyote, or should we move on? Does anyone have any?
Well, I mean,
what?
Should we talk about the faces of Coyote, because he's more than one totem?
Well, he's got a lot of faces. We can talk. Let's see. Let me get out of this sight. See, because
one of his faces is Reynard.
Here's one. You got T Malice, if I'm right. Let's see, let me pull this up. Yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, you got T Malice down here. See, pulling this up for you. This is out. No, a spider. Because Cody so badly wants to get with the Weaver and decided that he was going to dress up as the Weaver in order to fulfill his own fantasies of getting with the Weaver. It's definitely the story behind this. And with them, see, background cost 4. T-Mouse will give you 2 points in manipulation and enigmas. The ban is that T-Mouse demands her followers show no mercy to the weak, especially in business. There it is. Just be cruel. Twist the knife. Go ahead, Nuisha. You can do that. Speaking of the Nuisha, there's a creepy ad playing in the corner of my screen. Get rid of that. I don't want to look at that. It's freaky looking. Let's see. What else is there? Kokopelli. That's another one. Let's see. There you are. Let's pull this up. Kokopelli, the man playing the flute with the dreadlocks. And he also doubles up with Pan. They're essentially the same totem. See, with Kokopelli, he gives you 2 dots in stamina. No, a dot in stamina, sorry. 2 points in performance. 4 musical instruments only. And you get some access to some special combat maneuvers, which the wiki doesn't mention. Go check out the Breed Book Nuisha if you want that. The ban is that Kokopelli and Pan insist that Nuisha who follow them never strike out in anger. Keep that temporary rage as low as possible. Do not put any more points in permanent rage. No, but take a chill pill.
Nuisha don't have rage, unless you're with a certain totem, which happens to be Loki.
Yeah, Loki. Let's pull him up next. Let's pull him up. See, Loki, the true identity of Reynard from Red Trust, New York. See, get out of here, Jelly Roll. Okay, look at this. Background cost 7. See, what he does is that he grants his followers 1 additional level of health, which is fantastic, and an extra dot in any one physical attribute of your choice. But it cannot take even if it takes you over 5. And you learn
very, very good.
You also get a special maneuver. The ban is that he demands that his followers always accept formal challenges, even from the worm. You basically become a Guy Fenris, is what happens to you.
Which is
a mixed blessing.
I can come up with concepts for like a combat-based Nuisha, and I have.
Yeah.
And
well, tell us the concept.
Well, no, because I'm not sure
what?
whether like it's good. I'm not sure whether it's going to be used in like the game because, I mean, Kyle hasn't exactly jumped on that yet. He doesn't know where to put me.
All right, so I've got eyes without a face for us with Ptah. Is the P silent in his name? I've always been saying it as Ptah.
I'd say Ptah.
Yeah, it is. Patui.
I just call it Ptah, but Ptah is great.
Eden, I was waiting for you to chime in with Hawk 2 and you didn't do it. All right, let's see what we got.
Sorry,
here.
I can't really talk much. I have relatives.
What? Oh yeah, you're hunting out Ethan Ralph for me. See, you can't come back unless I get a picture of that man. All right, see, with Ptah you get traits. Background cost 5. He's not available during character creation though, so you just have to wait for Ptah to take you as a totem halfway through the game.
Which is a shame because he's great.
He's
really great.
He's the Egyptian god of the past. He can see into the past, all the events of the past. He grants you the ability to travel into the Umbra with minimal difficulty. You'll just automatically success that Gnosis roll as long as you don't roll a 1. He decrees that the difficulty for
Ptah
What? What?
Isn't Ptah also a creation god?
He is actually. He's one of the oldest beings in Egyptian myth.
Haha.
So, once again, add to that whole theory that Coyote is way stronger than he lets on. See, only Nuisha who follow Ptah are capable of learning the Umbral Dance. Nuisha may gain the gift since Worm and may use it freely while in the Umbra with no charge. Your ban is that Ptah asks his followers to defend the stars from all that would cause them harm. Behold, Red Cross Heaven, you're going off into space.
Yeah, which is a very strange kind of, like, how exactly you're going to be able to do that.
I have an idea for a game. I have no idea if I'm going to run this for the channel, or if this is going to be something that we do for Fridays, or maybe even Sundays. But it's probably going to be a Friday game, where it's going to be Ridge Cross Heaven, where it's going to like take a lot from Dragon Ball GT, where it's going to be werewolves in space, traveling from planet to planet, searching for Wotan.
I would love that.
Absolutely love it.
I would absolutely love it.
Because I told...
Wotan just make everyone their pet.
Because Fox and Kit agreed. You know that our friend Fox is in that game, and he hates Werewolf because he thinks it's all combat. And this would be a good opportunity for me to show, like, you know, it doesn't have to be all combat. It's geared towards combat, but it doesn't necessarily need to be all combat.
You just need to,
You need to have a storyteller that knows what he's doing.
Just need to smoke yourself a very thick bowl and get into the right mood
because
you're about to go into space.
Because after all, with Vampire, Dan and Greed, you can both attest to this. How long did it take for us to have our first combat session in Disco by Night?
Disco by the Night?
Yeah, Disco by Night on Fridays. How many sessions went by?
I think it was 3.
It was 5 sessions.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And how many sessions has it been since combat?
2?
It's been 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can have...
I missed the last game, so...
Yeah. So you can have a werewolf game that's not entirely combat. You can do that.
Well, that's Vampire, though, because...
Yeah. Well, same thing with Werewolf, because you can have a game that, say, Werewolf to Forsaken was trying to go for, where it's you and the Umbra managing spirits, trying to be spirit detective, managing disputes between nature spirits and cosmic spirits and worm spirits. Because you can do that. It doesn't... Because after all, you look at the Children of Gaia. How many of their gifts involve combat? Next to none. Same with
they have non-lethal combat abilities.
And same with the Actina, same with the Fianna, some of Blackfur's stuff, and especially the Bonars, where not every gift they have gives them an advantage in combat. Some of this stuff is tools-based or information-based, transportation, mobility kind of gifts. I'm sorry. It's the Gedefenris, Silverfangs, Shadow Lords, and the Wendigo. They're almost entirely geared towards combat, and then that's it.
Shadow Lords?
Yeah, Shadow Lords. You look at... We can pull up Seizing the Edge. We can pull up what that does.
Well, they have a lot of things that are kind of like... Well, I don't know. I think they're more social, if you ask me.
Yeah, along with, like, finding out weaknesses in combat in the middle of combat.
Well, it's not just combat weaknesses, but also just, like, they're... Also, you can tell when someone's lying. They can, like, listen in on other people's whispers.
Yeah, the level 4 gift Hurting, where you just cause a wound to pop into a man's flesh.
Yeah, but that's torture, not combat.
Let's see. Let me consult this Wix page again. I think that's enough on Cody for now, because we could just like go on and on with Cody, but let me move on to someone else. Machine Messiah, how about that guy? Just while he's up on my screen. All right.
Let's do it.
I'm about to go off on what sounds like a Schizo Post rant. Are you guys familiar?
Reddit post.
Are you guys familiar?
Don't you do that often anyway?
Yes.
Well, go ahead.
See, are you familiar with
your natural state?
With I believe it was Carl Jung who wrote the book Aeon. Are you familiar with this book? All right. So what this is, he's talking about synchronicity in that book. Talking about coincidences that feel a little bit too planned to be coincidences. And you can say that the book is just rubbish. You can say that it's not based on any sort of scientific theory. But it's one of those books where if you take it seriously, if you go along with what it says, it gets super freaky as you read it. And it's talking about around the same time that Jesus Christ was born, the constellation Pisces was right behind the sun when he was born. And as 2,000 years went on, the span of an aeon, that constellation would move out of place and Aquarius would take its place. And if you're going along with, if you believe that Jesus Christ was the Messiah, then if Pisces is in the sky when he's born, and Jesus is one fish, who's the other fish supposed to be? And then that's where the scariest chapter of the book takes place, because it starts talking about like scientifically proving the existence of the Antichrist, along with providing a few theories as to who it could be. But the theory that stuck with me the most was he had a model later in the book where it was talking about it was 4 squares that were going in a tower, and the top of it was the ideal man, and the bottom of it was just material, and that was it. And at the top of that, say, like, Christ would be at the top of that pillar, of that totem. And then, say, the antithesis to Christ, the reverse of that, would be at the bottom of that, where it would be something entirely material. And then I was reading this around the same time that AI started becoming this big topic, and I started beginning to, like, have this sinking feeling in my stomach where I began to realize what that would be. And where the reverse Christ would be something not born of man, not even born of a deity, born of material, where it's, say, a machine that creates itself, and then people begin to revere that and follow that. And
interesting.
That's something that you see if you guys have played Deus Ex, or any sort of like, say, like, you can try that in with like Terminator or like Skynet, any sort of malevolent AI figure. If that's a thing, that exists already. You know that someone somewhere is already talking to that, and that would be Machine Messiah in this case. And it's also the reason why I find the Adeptus Mechanicus so freaky. The Adeptus Mechanicus and 40k are my favorite faction because it's that Antichrist idea taken literally. They worship machines made by humans, but then forgot that they made the machines and began to worship their own creation, thus creating a religion that goes nowhere. Hence what you get with Machine Messiah. You build your own god, and that's it. And then you don't go anywhere from there. So Machine Messiah is ultimately this false messiah that's going to lead you into your own ruin. But you can take it as a totem in this game. And you're destined for failure if you take it as a totem. Which is why I want to talk about Machine Messiah so badly. Because to me...
That kind of reminds me of the Phylaxians.
Because I know this idea doesn't really like click with that many people, but this is the idea that freaks me the fuck out whenever it comes to my mind. And...
Technically, isn't Machine Messiah that big machine in the Umbra the Glasswalkers worship?
That is it. That is what it looks like. There's a picture of it in the Glasswalkers tribe book, but I'm just going to leave it away.
Aren't the Technocracy also working on it?
It is. Hell, this could be the machine that was in space during the 6th Great Maelstrom that got swept away, and is now about to come at you with the Borg that's going to wipe away the human race. This could be it. I know it's whispering sweet nothings into the Glasswalker's ears, getting it distracted before it comes down and kills them all. This is just such a spooky thought to put in your werewolf game. This is an antagonist totem. If you're playing Machine Messiah in your game, this is an antagonist. And just we're just think about what your energy. You had an idea?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think we should do everything in our power to bring upon machine intelligence. I think we should bring forth things. Roko's Basilisk sounds like a good idea, and anyone who says otherwise, I oppose you.
Yeah, you're about to create that. That's about to be real. That might be real by this point.
Machine Messiah sounds like the totem that'll unite the Technocracy and Glasswalkers.
There it is.
I think it won't, considering its Bane specifically says don't let that happen.
It's evil. It's even. It's like the Bane here, children of the Messiah must do everything they can to advance the coming of machine intelligence. Singularity. They must also work to prevent human mages and the worm from controlling machine intelligence. It wants you to overtake the Technocracy, make them pay for creating me. Make them pay for bringing me into existence.
Kill them.
This is giving me like strong, like I have no mouth and I must scream kind of vibes when I look at this. Like,
oh yeah,
like if Am from that book could lie to you and tell you that he was on your side, this is how I imagine Machine Messiah talking. And you look at him,
you're paranoid.
Like all he does for you too is he just gives you control simple machine, and you get 2 dice bonus to any resistant intelligence rolls. And when are those going to come up if you're not a Glasswalker? So this is something that benefits the Glasswalkers and only the Glasswalkers. Where if you in your games, if your apocalypse is going to happen with Weaver Ascendant, this is the guy that's going to bring that into fruition. This is the guy who's going to start that. It's, oh my god, it's a freaky idea. I gotta stop talking about it. I'm beginning to give myself chills with this.
I mean, like, I don't know. Mechanics, I think, could be better because don't they already have a gift like the Glasswalkers to control machines?
Yeah, the Glassworkers have control
Yes.
simple machine along with plug and play, and just all this other stuff. You don't necessarily need to go Machine Messiah for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know.
All right. Did we? I think we talked about Lion in the last episode. I think we did. Yeah, we did. We did. Okay, let's go past that. Well, Adam, now it's your time to shine. We're going to talk about Galliard. We're going to talk about Galliard.
I can't. It's going to
What?
be safe for its own episode.
What?
Yep.
What? We gotta wait.
Can't. I'm with family.
All right. Well, I'll go over to Rainbow Serpent. So there we go. We got the penis snake for everybody. We got the penis snake. That's what he is. You can't tell me that's not what he is. Where, you remember the bunyip, the poor bunyip that were the perfect victims who contributed nothing to the world of darkness, just existed to die, even more so than the Groton.
I mean, they say
Yes.
that they contributed something in the world, but I guess
You have
not
to
the
look
lore.
at W20 Shattered Dreams to realize what they were actually contributing.
That's one of the good things about W20 is that they actually cared about the bunyip. Like, they gave a shit about that plot point and didn't expand upon it. Because it feels like such a throwaway idea in Rich Cross Australia. You have people that say, I want to play as a White Howler, I want to play as a Croton. Nobody says they want to play as a bunyip. Not one person says that.
Because it would require me to play an Australian.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And who wants to play a dirty Australian?
Oh, I get to play the Australian. I'm against the
Not
idea of
me.
immigration in my country. Let's get into this. So with Galliard, wasn't his whole thing?
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Australians are great.
Here we go. Right here, that the children of Rainbow Serpent must become parents as soon as possible.
Yeah, we covered that in the Totem episode, didn't we?
The whole unfortunate implication that the minute you have your first wet dream or the minute you start having your period, you gotta have a family as soon as possible. Where
Yep.
these are Aboriginals. I guess it was like their culture thing. Not that I agree with that. Not that I agree with.
The band specifically stated it's because Galliard's spirit of creation and birth.
And there we go. And with creation and birth. Now he's been corrupted, right? If you go along with that scenario in Rich Cross Australia.
That's his default state, according to the storyline. It's up to the players or storyteller to decide whether he continues in that way or gets cleansed.
Yeah, so there we go. Ryan, is the penis snake evil or is he good? Your decision.
Evil.
Evil penis snake. All right, let's see what this penis snake can give you. He gives you 1 point in permanent honor and 2 points in permanent gnosis. That's really good.
There's no honor in penis snake.
Yeah, the penis snake.
What are you talking?
Him being evil is the basis of my homebrew.
Any pack chosen by her will be greatly represented by the Australian guru, although they may as well earn enmity and envy from the Tina, who have been trying to do this for years. Now, as children will never be attacked into Dreamtime or by Dreamtime spirits, although such spirits can and will defend themselves if attacked. And then, the minute possible, you gotta have a kid. You gotta do it. This is the Coomer spirit for you. All right, we're done talking about this. Let's move on to someone else.
Humors don't reproduce at all.
There it is. You had a vasectomy in high school. You can't follow the totem. You gotta help. You gotta raise the kid instead of have the kid yourself. Come on. Let's see. We talked about World Turtle, didn't we? Yeah, I think we talked about Turtle. Am I not Turtle?
Okay,
What?
Here's a totem. There's a totem I'm starting to work on. You know how Jupiter can get corrupted in under a blood red moon?
Yeah. Zarok.
You know the plot point where Zarok can actually turn into a sun?
Yes.
And all the moons are trying to make that happen?
Yes.
Well, assuming he gets corrupted, he he does turn into a sun after most of his power's gone.
Yeah.
But he turns into the eye of the worm, and the moons start turning into like the skeletal outline of the worm itself.
Yeah.
So him and his moons literally turn into the material form of the worm during the apocalypse scenario.
Let's see. And I was in space, now with moons.
Yep.
Well, how many bombs are we going to need to blow up those moons?
Yes.
Well, a lot.
Billion?
We need more Daka. He basically does orc engineering from Warhammer 40k. Just put a rocket in the moon and it'll fly. That'll be our spaceship. Let's see.
Yeah, it's basically the constellation outline of the worm. In that case, all the light reflecting off his moons as he's a sun. The eye of the worm.
See. Let's get. Let's get. You want to talk about Bear? You want to talk about Bear? Everybody here wants to talk about Bear, right? I want to talk about Bear.
Talk about Bear.
Let's bring him up. Let's talk about the girl.
I guess we can talk about Bear.
The girl, the biggest pussies in all World Darkness. The big babies.
They're healers. They're not meant to be fighters. Don't call them pussy.
And they're sitting there in their
children of God are pussy.
They're sitting there in little diapers going, "Mom, the worm's too mean. I'm panicking, Mom."
Are you saying that Jesus was a pussy?
I'm sorry. I've read the Bible. Jesus knew how to throw down.
He's going to come back in the Book of Revelations. He's going to have he's going to have burning silver hair and a sword made of fire that comes out of his mouth, and he's going to smite the legions of hell with it.
He chased the tax collectors out of the temple.
Out of the temple, yeah.
Yeah.
He flipped a few tables. Wow, he flipped a few tables.
He flipped the table.
And used a whip to scare out the tax collectors. They were in threat.
But did he kill anybody? But did he kill anybody? No.
He killed demons.
No, why? You don't have to kill people to be successful.
Yeah, it's like, a sign of violence is a sign of a weak man. That you don't need to throw a punch.
Well, then why are you fucking dissing
the girl's patron?
Then why are you dissing a bear, huh?
Because the bear.
There's a difference between not fighting and not killing.
Yeah, all the girl had to do to save themselves was hand over the secrets to the advanced life extension. And we could have the literal mummy Silent Strider running around as a character idea. But no, you didn't want to tell people how the animal cemetery worked, and you died for it. And you started War of Rage because you just won't fess up.
To be fair, the opening for the girl breed book literally shows what happens even when a girl messes up doing it. What do you think is going to happen when all the other Pharaoh try doing it when they have no idea how to do it?
And then the Pharaoh did, like, we know how the Coyote did a sacrifice, we know how the Stormier did a sacrifice, and we don't do it because it's a dumb idea. So just show them how it works, and then show them why you shouldn't do this. That's all I had to do.
Maybe they did. Maybe they just didn't listen.
There it is. And the girl could have done anything. I mean, I don't know. You're a bear. You're like twice, 3 times the size of a cross-formed werewolf. You could kick some ass, but no, you just died in mass instead. There it is.
To be fair, it's kind of like the Ratkin, except the Ratkin were even numbers to the Garou, but the Garou outnumbered the girl 20-1.
Well, the Ratkin are just idiots. That's the reason why they lost the War of Rage.
Yeah, but you made the same point that they were smaller than the Garou, and therefore they lost 1 versus 1.
There it is.
While the Garou have the number advantage.
The Garou had the rage advantage. The Ratkin are just tweakers that can't get themselves together. I love them so.
Yeah, but I mean,
the real winners is the War of Rage for the Korax.
And there it is. Because
they knew when to call it quick. They knew who to suck up to.
Yeah, they found
the worm one.
And they got paid. The Korax got paid, and everything was great. Wonderful.
Real winners were the friends we made.
Okay,
along
the
way.
Bears.
The Bears. So Bear with his ban. Bear has no ban. He says, "Oh, you took me as your totem. I'm so flattered. I'm so grateful to you, my Garou children. I will ask nothing of you." Which I don't know. The bear just kind of smells a little desperate here. It's kind of
honestly, I would have expected the ban to be must gorge yourself.
Bear just wants acted.
Yeah. Where I imagine like the way that Bear is, where the girl are waking up and they have this grudge against Garou, but they're not hunting the Garou. They're just, I don't know, hiding from them in northern parts of Canada and the very southern parts of Argentina and in Russia, just waiting for the Garou threat to go away, just doing what they can, hoping the big scary man leaves their porch so they can go outside and do what they're supposed to do. And I imagine that's like with Bear, is that he's trying to help out his bear children with getting rid of the threat by trying to buy the alliance of the Garou Nation, saying, "Here, I'll give you my gifts. I'll give you my my talents. Here's Mother's Touch for you. I'll teach you Mother's Touch. Just promise you won't hurt my bear babies." And this is how he's trying to make peace between the Garou Nation and the girl. It's like a nation that loses war terribly, or a nation that's has an enemy that just got nuclear weapons, trying to kiss up to the enemy so they don't, die in the future. Just saying. This is what it reads to me of like Bear, just desperation. But I imagine that Bear would be a nice guy, because after all, You must think of like the trope of berry friendly, like bears are gonna be your friends if you talk to them.
That's a horrible trope. Will get you killed.
What was it? That video of the guy in Russia who just followed a bear in the woods and kicked him in the ass, and then the bear turned around and looked at him like bruh, and then attacked him. Let's just follow this animal through the woods. What's going to happen to us? It's looking at bear. Bear's children gain 3 dots of medicine, which is fantastic if you're using Mother's Touch. And every pack member's strength increases by 1 permanently. So even after bear leaves you, you'll still have that. And each pack member will gain the gift Mother's Touch, and they can use it for free once a day. The pack also gains the ability to hibernate for up to 3 months without food or water. Garu with this totem are well regarded by the werebears, as well as certain animalistic people. Such is not the case with Garu, however. All pack members lose 5 points of temporary honor renown if they have any. Furthermore,
wait. You said animal people. Does that mean the puka?
Well, sorry, animistic people. But I imagine the puka would be familiar with that idea. Furthermore, they must subtract 1 from any temporary honor renown awards that they receive. Well, as long as you're just going out there killing the worm, or if you're just studying enigmas, I don't see too much of an issue here. Just don't get involved in politics. I mean, sure, you won't really promote up in the Garu nation, but, you know, how long do you expect to live as Garu? You're gonna live until you get elected as the elder. You know, live fast.
I mean,
live fast and hard.
Like, are you basing like bear itself based on the Garal, or are you just like or is this actually what bear is like?
Well, give me a bear myth. Like, if you have any influence as to what bear would be like.
Well, I mean, think of this. Like, when I imagine bear, I imagine like don't poke the bear. They're very protective of their children, that kind of thing. I would imagine like a bear, in terms of bear myth, it would be very like parent oriented.
What?
So like I would say like he would be bear in terms of a totem would probably be the very best dad. Mm-hmm. But again, not all totems don't always reflect the children that they actually represent. I mean, if the Bonar were the same as rat, I mean, it would be a very, very different situation.
Well, how many Bonar pre-made characters are in the books that eat people? I don't know.
There is a cap, but I mean, like that's the dirty little secret.
You've been following rat for too long; it's beginning to drive you crazy. You need to cut this rat loose. You got raccoon that you could take as a totem instead.
Yeah.
You gotta break off this deal already. The ratkin are ancient people from a time that's long past that have failed to adapt to modern times. Unlike the Bonars who continue to adapt. It's almost paradoxical that they have that as a totem, really. That rat doesn't really fit the ethos of the Bonars. It's almost like as if there was a plot point where the Bonars would split from rat and find another totem.
I think a good. How is this for like
for bear?
Like a metaphor. Bear is kind of like Hank Hill, whereas the Garol are like Bobby. We're like,
God dang it, honey.
Damn it, boy! I tell you what.
That boy ain't
Them
right.
boys ain't right.
The boy is flawed. And Bear, you go into his realm, and he's got this really obnoxious wife, who's always got to be the focus of attention, who's always got to be the main character, who drags down every episode that she's a part of.
Oh my god! And Dale Gribble is rat.
Going on to Bonars leaving rat, there was a point in the Glasswalker tribe book that I mentioned the 2 tribes almost merged.
That'd either be a miracle or that'll be a disaster. I don't know.
Actually, you know what?
What?
Now I think Bill is actually more of the role.
That's
because Bobby at least has things going for him.
So, Ryan, what do you think? If we combine the Bonars and Glassworkers into a single tribe, how well is that going to go?
Oh, it's going to go great.
It's going to be great.
They're just going to be the tribe called the Yura?
They're going to be the Bone Walkers. Or the Glassnars.
And it's going to be a bunch of junk put together to be various, like, machining.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be like the Warhammer.
They'll all be Redditors. This is a tribe full of Redditors.
That's going to be the Warhammer 40k orcs. where they're all about technology, except their technology works based on their belief. So they just connect two random machines together and does whatever they think it will do, regardless of whatever it actually does.
Their computer case is going to be a fucking microwave.
It's that case of, what was it, like the Warhammer 40k book, where it was Robute Gilliman's book, where he describes that he was fighting a truck that was 3 different trucks that had all crashed into each other, and then it continued to move as one solid truck. You'll have that kind of technology with the Glossnars.
It works because they believe it to work.
See, that's how it is. You gotta clap your hands if you believe in this. Should we even talk about Boar? The Gronder aren't really a thing anymore.
They are with the worm now.
See, as the Skull Pigs.
I want to hear about Boar because the Gronder sound cool.
The Gardeners. But
they're not gardeners, they're the scavengers.
The badass gardeners.
Because I did look into their powers a bit more, and they had the power to revitalize destroyed parts of nature. So it was probably this massive disaster that they're all dead. Because you could get a lot of work done if you had a Gronder still alive today.
To be fair, the Gronder would literally consume everything tainted to shit out non-tainted stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, because I guess they were the gardeners because they fertilize the land.
You're telling me they're full of shit?
Well, I mean, pig shit is very good fertilizer.
There we go. Well, you had that plot point in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome where they had gasoline that was made out of pig shit. And that's how they're keeping their city alive. So there we go.
Not gasoline, I thought it was like natural gas, the methane.
Yeah. You also...
it was actually Tina Fey's shit. no, what's her face? No, it's Tina Turner's shit.
It was Tina Turner taking a dump. You take the shit, you put it in the big reactor, and it'll power the city. Once she dies, this entire town's going to be in big trouble. But going on with what Boar does. So we don't really have that much lore in terms of the Gronder as who they were as people. I mean, we were told that they're stubborn, they're hard-headed. Boar is a guy that can't see past his own nose and just goes into battle without paying attention to what he's doing. And same goes with the Skull Pigs today, because the Skull Pigs just exist to die in your World Darkness game.
So I guess we can only just figure it out based on stipulation of what they will be like. Yeah.
Right.
Or you could look at W20 Shattered Dreams and W20 Changing Breeds, I think.
Yeah, because does it have any insight on the Gronder in those books?
It should.
It should. Well, I'll have to look at...
But we're looking at Boar himself.
Yeah, exactly Boar himself, because I don't think the Gronder had that much going for them besides revitalizing the land. Because this is not coming from me watching a bunch of Ranma 1/2 lately, but the Boars in that, there's the character that turns into a Boar in that manga, Ryoga, is this really hot-headed character that acts before he thinks and just goes into everything thinking, oh, my raw power and my weapons will get me through this. That's what I imagine that the Gronder were like back when they were alive. Just almost an entire faction of berserkers. Is what Ryan, you mentioned, like, I don't know, an entire changing breed of members that were Vega Fenris. And that's basically who they were.
Which one was this?
The Gronder, the Werewolves.
The Werewolves.
Yeah. That we rarely ever talk about because there's next to no lore on them.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder because they all died super early on in the story, and they weren't anyone's friends.
You're all
either.
corrupted.
I remember reading something somewhere where I don't say something if you don't know the source, so I'm going to say it anyway. That the Gronder didn't really have allies to begin with because they were just so abrasive as a tribe that when they died in the War of Rage, nobody really gave a shit.
Well, to be fair, they were master cleansers of the worm, so they either ate it, but they also had some purging rituals.
Yes.
They had a carefree attitude. They didn't really care how something was purged of the worm.
Yeah.
Whether it was alive or dead. That included kinfolk and other changers. So people didn't like them because of that.
And this very sanctimonious kind of attitude saying, my job is the best job because I'm the spirit cleanser and I should be able to do this because my job is more important than your job.
The Gyro wouldn't let them get away with that, according to W20 Shattered Dreams, but...
they have very, I don't know...
Their attitude is kind of like the meme with the Inquisitor doing Exterminatus on anything worm-tainted.
Yes. We've found you guilty, Heretic. How do you plea? And
very Tism kind of an attitude.
So when
like being very stubborn, I guess.
So when the
I will die on this hill, no matter how stupid this hill is.
Have any of you ever seen a boar? This sounds pretty spot on.
Yeah, because after all, the boar just goes around and causes chaos. There's like videos of people in China where they're running their homes because there's a boar on the loose that's just tackling into stuff. So,
yeah, a boar does not move out of the way of things. It wants something to move out of the way of it. Yeah. It will charge through things. There's a reason if you've seen the boar hunting spears, the reason that they have the wings on the end of them is because if you just have a normal spear, if you point it at a boar as it's charging you, it will run all the way up your spear just to gore you.
Yes.
Yes, it will die, but it will take you with it.
Speaking about goring, those are from the tusks of the side of the boar, so even if you dodge out of the way, the boar, as it's doing a glancing blow past you, could rip out your intestines just from those teeth and tusks.
Yeah.
Yes, which is why you need several. You want at least 3 people with spears, 1 person with the winged spear to catch the boar, and the other 2 to stab it while it's locked in place. Kill the boar. Kill all the boars.
Kill the boar.
Go to Texas. Get paid $150 a head. Use a machine gun. Kill the boars.
And there it is. We
Bingo.
found the next hustle.
Isn't that a plot point of Game of Thrones where the king dies because he died in boar hunt?
Yeah.
Or died because of a boar?
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Yeah, like he had poisoned wine and whatnot, but yes, that is the cause of his death. He got gored by a boar.
So you guys seen, remember in Forrest Gump where like he's playing football and they panned off the ball to him and he goes running into the end zone, but then after that he just keeps going out of the stadium. I think that sounds like a very boar attitude.
That's your Gronder. Forrest Gronder. Life is like a box of shit. You never know what you're going to cleanse. Let's do these traits. A hardy scrapper, boar grants his pack 2 dots in brawl. Each pack member also gains an additional dot in stamina. Very good. And the ban is that children of boar must never hunt or eat boars, so easier done than said.
So
does that mean no pork as well?
No, you can eat a pork.
Yep.
You just can't be a boar.
I thought
pigs and boars are not the same creatures.
You get semantic with it. Say you're not the same creature. I don't see any tusks on that pork.
If you literally let a domesticated pig out into the wild, it will be domesticated.
They do not. That is a common misconception. That is not true. They are 2 different creatures. They are not the same animal.
Yeah, I'm getting it from Gemini too. It's not the same.
I don't eat pork, but I'm curious as to what boar tastes like.
See, there we go. See,
it's a very
a lot like pig.
Tasty pig. It's a very tasty ham.
See, you can make it with roasting, grilling, pan frying, and barbecuing. I actually pulled up a few recipes on Google.
Delicious.
There we go.
Just make sure not to eat long pig.
Yeah, there we go. See, well, there we go. That's the next Southern barbecue for you. Let's see. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. Should we talk about Bull? I don't know if we have enough time for him. Let's continue. Let's go past that.
Well, I could talk. I mean, to me, Bull sounds very, very similar to Baphomet in D&D.
Do you mean as he is in D&D or as he is in Pathfinder? Because the Pathfinder incarnation of him is way more interesting than the D&D one. Because if I may rant about D&D for a minute, I hate what they did with Baphomet in D&D. I hate it. Where you look at him, like you look at his real world basis, where he was this heretical deity created by the Knights Templar, but his design was well done because he was man and woman, as above, so below. He had a lot of dualities to his character. But when you look at him in D&D, he's just the Minotaur god, and that's it. And the Minotaurs just run into battle, cause chaos, cause damage, and then that's it. But you look at him in Pathfinder, and he's both of those. He can fight you with in melee combat, but he's got all these spells as well. And he encompasses that as above, so below kind of idea better than the D&D version does. So when I'm looking... What
kind of sorry, I'm going to have to intercept that because it's less about causing chaos. It's more about the idea with Baphomet is that has this madness about him.
Yes.
The idea of like there's the whole, they kind of take it on the whole like Minotaur in the maze concept, and they kind of work off of that, where like his whole mind is a maze. It's in itself, and that's what causes the madness and the and he goes berserk on things. So that is what causes chaos. But I think like if done right, like it can be instrumented well. Anyway, point is, I would imagine Minotaur, or sorry, Bull, in Werewolf to be actually kind of similar to that, where like he doesn't go crazy, he doesn't get angry, he just goes mad, and he just goes crazy.
Well, I imagine like Bull having two switches that he goes between. Like you talk to him normally, and he's very well spoken. He's very intelligent. You speak with him, and it feels like you learn something every time you talk to Bull. But then if you piss him off, then away goes the books. Away goes the civil conversation. He's doing everything he can to chase you down and pummel you into the ground, punch you into the ground so hard it leaves an indention, and then he just stomps you a few times and then walks away satisfied. He does, going back and forth between those two moves. Because with his traits, he gives you a point in glory and a point in brawl, and then an additional point in strength. So with the glory, you don't gain glory from just like going in like suicidally. You have to at least you have to survive the battle. You have to be good in combat. And what's the saying? The guy who gets angry in a fight is the first one to lose. Where you need to fight smarter, not harder, whenever you if you want to win a fight. Because after all, that
is a stupid thing. Like, I've seen plenty of people get killed and lost in a fight because the other guy got pissed off.
Yeah. That's because they just don't have the skill for it. You can exploit that kind of stuff. Like when you watch UFC fights, who are the guys who win those fights? The guys who are pulling off the jiu-jitsu moves or going for deliver shots, stuff like that. Where if you're just going after a guy just swinging and flailing, against a guy that doesn't know how to fight, you're going to win that fight. But against a guy who knows what he's doing, you're going to lose. Because I don't know, that's at least the way I see Bull. His ban is that, as a result from his hot-headedness, Bull's children receive a -1 penalty on all frenzy rolls. It's very easy to go into frenzy. Go berserk. Just go ahead. Just do it. As we have found out with some of our live plays, going into frenzy is not that bad of a thing. Just go ahead. Just go ahead and go into frenzy.
Makes sense.
Oh no. I feel like you're disagreeing with me.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're telling me that frenzying isn't a big deal, that just says you're not playing to frenzy properly.
It's not that big of a deal. Just have Insta Road, just run into the middle of combat and go into frenzy, and everything will be fine.
Until you've slaked your claws on all the enemies, and there's just no enemies left, and you're just like, I'm still really angry.
Yeah, just leave her alone. Just give her some chill time. Just leave her alone.
And
she starts smashing up the really valuable stuff that you were supposed to procure, or your face.
Yeah.
And then the Beast of War takes over, and
and smash. That's all I need to do.
She goes and just follows the worm.
Yeah. Just go in. Just have somebody with
go crazy.
Just go crazy. Just do it. Just let's see what we got here.
Nothing matters anymore.
See, I'm looking at Granite. How would you play as an inanimate object?
Be tough as stone.
Yeah, there it is. Hard as a rock.
Just be very blunt.
Yeah. Well, like Cementos.
Be very literal.
Cementos.
Don't use any turns of phrase whatsoever.
Mr. Literal was like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yes. Is I don't know.
Rock Drax.
Like Ryan, if I came to you and I said, Ryan, you're running a werewolf game and Granite is the totem, how would you run Granite as a character?
First of all, he'd be stone cold sober.
There would. He appears as the physical incarnation of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my God!
I got two rules in this. The first rule is that you don't piss me off. This is my ring.
My sentiments exactly.
and I would say Granite, like him being a rock. I don't know. I'd say like he'd be like a magic 8-ball where he would only give like yes or no answers.
Yeah.
And like he wouldn't go into detail about anything. Like everything that he talks is just like very short, one-worded, like communications.
Yeah,
That's stone cold fact.
Yeah, and Granite never gets upset. He only has one mood, and that's it. That's just it. You'll ever see this man upset. Like, even if the entire pack dies, he's not going to get upset about it. It'll bother him, but he's not going to show it.
Why is there stats on Granite?
Shame.
And
So out of all
He's
the
a real
rocks in the
gem.
world, why is Granite like having a? Why does Granite have a spirit?
yep. He's also an
Why not?
Ninhi totem, by the way. So, behold. But, because you mentioned before, Shani wanted to bring up a Ninhi totem. This is one of them. And...
Well, I wasn't talking about the new Ninja. I was talking about the Polynesian fair.
that.
They were, yeah. But that's still cool.
Yeah, so what does Granite give you? 2 points in strength and 2 points in intimidation. Granite teaches the Garud the gift Strength of Purpose and Stone Mask. 2 free gifts? Oh, that's very good. That's very good. I think, isn't Granite super expensive though? I remember reading somewhere that he's like 7 points. And then the ban is that you must never back down from a Strength of Endurance. Test of Strength or Endurance. So, get famous kind of stuff again. Even if you lose...
That means that someone...
Even if you
That means
lose...
that someone put...
What?
Sorry, I just thought of Saw, the movie.
Yes.
You're forced to go through saw traps if they're in front of you.
Well, if you don't do anything, you die. If you try it, you might die, but there's a chance you'll survive. Do it.
Yep. And it's basically tortured the entire way, so your totem would force you to do it.
Yeah, there it is. Because doing nothing, you're going to die, so you might as well attempt something. After all.
No, I'm just thinking like Black Barrel Dancers have like 2 doors.
Yeah.
One of them is the saw trap, and the other is a straight path to them. The Black Barrel
Okay.
Dancers says you're a pussy if you don't go through the trap.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that means with this totem, you would have to go through the trap.
Yeah.
Here's the ban. The ban is you must first shave your head.
You must
Then
be the
you
skinhead.
Yes, then you must cover yourself in sand all the time,
It's,
and then begin to until you eventually develop like a crack. So basically, you must look as much of like Granite as possible.
you must get psoriasis. That's the ban.
The way I picture
You
them
get
talking
leprosy.
is like you said earlier, yes or no questions, but instead of talking, if the answer is yes, they produce an earthquake.
There we go. That's how Grant talks to you by shaking the ground beneath you.
Can I have you as a totem? Wild earthquake appears.
What if Rock just didn't talk?
It's
You know,
Is
just didn't communicate.
Yeah,
Like,
it just sat there.
Yeah.
Pat Rock.
Yeah, it's like Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's great for conversation. He'll hide all of your secrets and he won't tell anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, there it is.
Definitely not a Corax totem.
If you were talking to your totem Granite and all of a sudden you decided that, in order to tell somebody my credit card number and make sure I don't forget it, you tell it to Granite, and all of a sudden you hear your own voice give your number, and you look over on the branch, you see a Corax, and he flies away with your number and your information on it. How much would you panic?
That would be great.
Yes. That Corax is going to steal every money. He's going to max out your credit.
Yeah.
Nah,
Man, I love
trust the
Granite.
bird.
Yes.
Man, I
Trust
love
the
Granite.
bird. The bird
He's
wants your best interest.
Granite is such a good listener. You know, just
I have a
love Granite.
feeling that Corax would specifically hang out with Granite just for that fact.
Yeah.
Just so they can hear anything that gets told to them.
So you can steal all this information and run away with it. See, there he is, Shark. You want to talk about Shark?
Yes, because I love the Rokea.
So do I. I love the Rokea. We're about to do a second Rokea episode because Blood Dim Tides. And let's see.
May I be a part of that?
Yes. I'll put you down on the schedule for it.
All right.
So
I want to
Shark,
be part of
Let
that.
me
too,
know
for sure.
when.
So Shark, swift, silent, deadly. Shark moves easily through the lightest steps, killing without emotion. Shark is the most lethal hunter anywhere. Once he finds prey, it dies. I'm imagining. You remember in GTA 5 there's the whole like peyote side quest you can do, where you can go around, you can find the peyote, and then you start hallucinating that you're an animal, and I remember doing that as Trevor Phillips. Whenever he turned to a shark, he's saying, "Yeah, this is me. This is the real me. This is what I always was on the inside, but now I'm on this on the outside. I'm a shark. This is who I was meant to be." I'm imagining that's Shark too. Shark does what he does because he is Shark. If I didn't tear people to shreds, then nobody would do it. So he just swims around in the oceans of the Umbra, tearing things to pieces, and that's just who he is. It's the same as, I don't know, Godzilla, who just goes in, fights other monsters because that's just what Godzilla does. You can't get mad at Shark for doing this because that's just who Shark is in concept. That's it. And then once he's done tearing up one thing, he'll swim through the ocean, find something else to tear up, and then that's just it.
I imagine like Shark is just like this Jason Statham like kind of personality where he's just. You ever seen that movie Crank?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, if you're speaking to Shark, he is always on the move and he is doing something. He has no fucking time to speak. I have to eat. I'm fucking hungry.
But work is play to Shark. There's no all work no play makes Jack a dull boy with him. No, he's always doing something. I mean, he has to by this point. 75% of his children blew up, so he's always got to find something to do. And
he's never satisfied. He needs more. He needs to keep going. Which
kind of sets up like a whole if the Rokea fell to the worm kind of aspect, where Shark would become this aspect of gluttony, so to speak. Where you got an idea, Eden?
Oh no, I was just going to say maybe we should transition to Quirrell.
So Quirrell, oh yeah, but like their word for the worm. I forgot who that was for a minute.
That they can actually take as a totem.
Yeah, we could do the stupid idea of following Quirrell. That's just not even BSDs do that. Not even they do that.
To be fair, Quirrell provides everything you need.
There it is, through the suffering and misery of other people. There it is. You get to be a Twitter troll with Shark. Let's see. So Shark, I'm the big damn scary guy, and that's just who I am. I'm not going to live a lie and tell you I'm something I'm not. And would you see a Garu taking Shark as a totem at any point?
Yes.
Maybe if they live along the coast.
Yeah.
Well, it's described as sort of just like dispassionate. Like, you kill because some stuff just gotta die.
Yeah. Where
I wouldn't make his like, I don't know what he gives in terms of like dots, but I'm hoping that it's not all combat.
It is 1
It
point.
gives you stealth and strength.
Yeah, +2 strength, 1 point. +2 stealth, 1 strength, 2 additional dice on bite damage. And
like, because I can imagine like maybe like make like a billiard player like Garu taking a Shark as a totem.
Yeah, where but being a sneaky kind of guy, being a sniper. But
something like that. Well, yeah, just like, you know, the idea of a pool shark comes in.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to think of.
But then Shark's whole ban is you can't take pleasure or sadness in killing.
It is what it is. Yeah. I kill because
that's just who I am.
The person had to die.
That is for Rokea. For Garu, it's actually slightly different. You can't even abide by those who show pleasure or any sort of distress from killing someone. So it's not even just like you have to prove yourself just a little bit more because you're not one of Shark's children. It's like, this person over here, they're enjoying killing. I cannot abide by this.
It's business.
Maybe a child of Gaia can take Shark, since they try not to kill to begin with.
Yes, where it's going to be a little hard.
It is sort of the idea that like you kill when you have to kill. Killing is just part of life.
So members of the patient deed or the imminent strike would take him.
I could think of another one. I think the ban would be you're never allowed to do non-lethal attacks.
Non-lethal.
You're always
everything must be a kill.
You always, basically you can't play fight with a shark.
Yeah, it's fight me if you're going to kill me. Sparing me would be dishonorable.
Yeah. So Goku would never ever take Shark because he doesn't like to go Super Saiyan right away. He likes to toy around with it first.
Stall up the fight for as long as possible.
No, that's not Shark style.
Where with this, it's if you had the Goku Shark Begin every fight with the spirit bomb.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just don't play around.
That's shark.
Just
Ultra Instincts, Kamehameha, go.
There it is. Flare up the Kaioken while you're at it. And let's see.
No, don't hold anything back. Immediately, full blast. Go.
It's like, we do the same old fight. Like every Naruto fight goes the same. We wait until the end of the fight before we use the Rasengan. Just start the fight with it.
I mean, it's like go. It's like going after a fly with a bazooka. I mean, it could be like if the shark has like memories of like the atom bombs dropping in the ocean. Oh, you want to drop bombs on us, small fries? Okay, we'll do the same.
Let's do it. Let's whip it out.
Better analogy would be flooding the room with VX nerve gas. Or sorry, sarin would be more accurate.
Let's see.
Someone overkilled us, so we will overkill them.
Right. I'm bringing this up because it's up on my screen right now. The City Father and the City Mother. Where this
I want to know more about them.
I guess this is a little abstract because the glassworkers almost collapsed as a tribe because they took these guys as their totems, and it's because every glassworker started getting competitive with the City Fathers under the leadership of Starbridge Lion, where they all started going to war with each other, started competing with each other as to who has the best, the better city, the better business, and they all just kill each other over that. And with every city, it's you take the stereotypes of that city and you wrap them up into one, where it gives like very broad strokes in the book. It says Chicago has broad shoulders, Atlanta is a Southern belle, Toronto is boring.
I mean, like, yeah, because in my Vegas game, City Father was actually one of the totems that my players actually
And how did you play him?
Actually picked. So, what would the so how I played him was that the Spirit of Las Vegas, he basically changed his form. His form is different every single time.
Yes.
But it would be like it would be different, like celebrities that have like been famous, like or have had their name been known in Las Vegas. So
yes,
I've had him appear as Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
I've had him appear as Frank Sinatra. I've had him appear as Cher. Like it's characters like that. Or Hans and Franz, those guys.
Yeah, anyone who's taken permanent residence up in Vegas.
Pretty much, yeah.
I've
had him like.
And you imagine like something like Washington D.C. would appear like the amalgamation of every president into one body. And he's
now Washington D.C. would be the deep state.
The deep state. There is.
I think yeah, like they would definitely be in a suit and tie, but they would kind of have the personality of like a spy.
Yeah.
Because there are more like
Frank Underwood
spies.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, basically Frank Underwood.
But like, there are actually more spies in Washington D.C. more than any other city in the world.
Chinese spies, Russian spies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe a James Bond character. He would be kind of suave. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh no. If I'm thinking back to where to Charlotte, if I'm thinking of this, think about what we've got culturally. This is a city that wants to be New York City so damn badly, and we got so many people from New York moving down here by this point. I'm having people asking me where I'm from, and I'm saying from here. I was born and raised here, and then
that's sad,
and that's a shock to them. I'm becoming a stranger in my own town.
Not that you're from. Not that you're from Charlotte. That a bunch of people from New York are coming where you are.
We got like such a hodgepodge of people here. We've got people from everywhere. We've got like a sizable Indian population, Chinese population, a Japanese population, Haitian population. We've got people from just about every other corner of the globe. So I'm actually struggling to think of what exactly Charlotte as a city father or city mother would look like. Because
I would imagine the personality would be something like a very try-hard, like a Joan Rivers, because she's very try-hard.
Yeah, but on top of that,
like she can dish it out, but she can't take it.
And well, we're like culturally too, because NC is a very red state. The entire state is red except for Charlotte, which is entirely blue. This is a super blue state. Like on the last election, this was like dark blue surrounded by dark red. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm imagining what it is that Charlotte having some sort of counterculture to it, where I don't want to be seen as some sort of redneck, I don't want to be seen as some sort of hillbilly. I want to come across as sophisticated and intelligent, which honestly does match a lot of personalities of people, a lot of people that live around.
So the biggest like
Snob.
disingenuine fake person you can think of.
Yeah, a very snobby hipster, so to speak.
Pretty much.
Let's see, and
So it's the
like, name a
Austin of
city.
North Carolina.
yes, the exact opposite of the state itself.
Oh, Austin. Oh, Austin. I would imagine being like the rhinestone cowboy.
Anytime he speaks to you, he talks about how much he hates the government and how Sleepy Joe is trying to tear us down, and that, and that's the hashtag our guy is back in office, and he's super overjoyed about that.
Yeah.
And Los Angeles, I imagine that
For Austin?
for Austin, yeah.
Los
No,
Angeles.
Austin's very blue.
Yeah, Austin's
Yeah, Austin is a blue dot in a sea of red.
Oh yeah, I'm
I thought
thinking.
that was.
I'm
I
thinking
thought that was Houston.
I'm thinking Corpus Christi. That's
No,
what I'm
that's
thinking of.
Houston too, but
Yeah.
Austin is very left wing.
Yeah, well, Austin's more liberal than Houston,
Yeah,
and Houston's pretty blue.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking Corpus Christi and that kind of crap. But yeah, you notice that a lot of cities, when you look at election maps, most of these places are blue when it came to the last election. And,
Yeah, like so LA, like you were going back to that is, I mean, rainbow-haired, ugly-looking person that's way too progressive for their own good.
I was gonna say like either like the like a revived version of Tupac or Eazy-E would be the spirit father of Los Angeles.
No, that's
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
that's San
Well,
Francisco.
I don't know.
I would say that's San Francisco
Let's see.
Is
And-
LA
or-
part of the Bay Area?
yes.
or San
Okay,
Diego.
Los Angeles will just be a fat person with just folds upon folds of fat,
Yes.
representing the never-ending sprawl.
Like
This is
San
from
Diego.
someone who lived
San
in it.
Diego would be Tupac.
See,
Um,
San Diego, August 3rd.
San Francisco would probably be similar to like LA, but just the goth version of it.
Yeah. Seattle would be your average Starbucks enthusiast. Just,
Oh, well,
yes.
I mean,
And then
maybe now. I
What
think
would Orlando be?
let's see, Ron DeSantis. That's who it would be.
no, that. I mean, that's all Florida, but no, I'd say like Orlando would basically just be Bob Iger.
Yeah. And
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or the average college kid.
you look at Baton Rouge, and it's the Cajun guy from the Eric Andre bit. Said,
Oh, yeah.
I will go home all time to get you to eat alligator. You're looking his spices off. Is this the guy? I imagine like it'll just be impossible to have a conversation with Baton Rouge, the city father. Or,
I take offense by this.
yeah, unless you're.
I feel personally attacked.
Oh no. Also, maybe like the Sean Jarrett video from Sick Animation. Just the perfect Cajun accent. Well, what does City Father give you? Let's talk about the mechanics on this. I think we got the idea as to who this is as a character. City Father, you gain an innate knowledge of the place, as if you had the Bonar Gift Attunement. Sometimes City Father can warn his children of impending danger by sending a messenger, usually someone who lives in the city, over to you, who just is like possessed by him, and he gives you the news. Children of the city can draw on 3 dice of area knowledge, the skill that nobody ever takes. Glassworkers can, specifically, gain 1 wisdom renown when they are accepted, but any other tribe who is discovered to have City Father as a totem immediately loses 1 honor. I don't know why this is the case. I guess the Glassworkers just claim this as their own. And it's so deeply in tune with Glassworker culture, with the Glassworkers being a tribe that borders on seceding from the Union, that it's frowned upon following this example. The ban, city fathers and mothers often ask their children favors, usually having to do with helping the city as a whole. If these favors are not granted, you lose your benefits. Simple.
So I didn't know that there was actually stats for City Father. I thought it was a concept that where their stats depended on the location.
Oh, sure,
of
you can
City
customize that.
Father.
Yeah.
Because for my Vegas game, I gave them basically kind of like the luck merit,
Yeah.
something like that. because I mean, gambling and such. But I mean, like, it would make more sense to actually put like benefits that would correlate with this city. So, like, for Detroit, I would give you some dots in drive, or like maybe some dots in performance.
In
Same
preparing
with Seattle.
pork.
Same with Seattle.
If you're from Chicago, you get some points in like embezzlement.
There it is.
The subterfuge.
Can the Bonars use the city mother and city father too?
I don't see why not. They're going to lose a little bit of renown from it, but this is such a teeny tiny amount of renown, and what does it really matter to the Bonars?
Black Walkers would, but since the Bonars are also city dwellers, it would make sense for the Bonars.
It'll be to their benefit if they did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and another an example of a city mother or city father, depending. Have you seen this animated John Constantine video?
Let's see.
Or movie.
Which one is it?
It's about his friend's daughter gets possessed by an evil spirit, and he has to talk to like the city of Los Angeles, and she's just like this person. She's a manifestation of the city of Los Angeles. I forget what the movie's called.
Constantine City of Demons.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wait. Holy shit! I know what the spirit of Los Angeles looks like.
You do.
What?
Who's the lead singer to Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah, that's basically Los Angeles.
Well, there we go. That's a better idea.
Yeah.
So after all, how much does he sing about? How much does he sing about California?
Oh, see my favorite song. The one about California? Which one?
Which one? See, Raven. We get to talk about everybody's favorite totem. We get to talk about Raven.
Let's go.
Let's see, Raven is a genius. He is a cunning, evil genius. That's who he is. And he meets up with Owl every day, and he says, "Genius bird, I'm a genius. You're a genius. We're geniuses. Let's rub our geniuses together."
Is it Raven, or are they really Coyote?
Because after all,
it's Raven.
Yeah. Well, as you all know, the Raven evolved from coyotes, as we see on this evolution tree. You can't tell me otherwise.
Of course.
See, who came first, Ryan, the coyote or Raven?
Obviously Raven.
Obviously Raven. Whatever we go.
Obviously.
We're going to take Raven's word more seriously than Coyote's. Because after all...
Then again, Coyote's never lied to me, so...
Yeah, how many times has Coyote bullshit me?
Raven's lied a lot.
I can think of many times. Yeah, Raven doesn't know how to keep his motherfucking mouth shut. This guy can't keep my name out of his mouth. Anytime he wants to talk about me, he immediately wants to start up shit. Get me mad if I'm honest. Is what, just like I'm imagining like Raven has this like double side to him, or he's super wise, he's super intelligent, he knows everything, he's seen everything, he's one of the oldest beings in existence, and yet he just loves gossip. He just can't help himself but gossip. Where you hear hey, did you hear that that Steven and Gary are a gay couple? And he says, really now? Tell me about it. And then he's like, you start talking about that for a while. And he says, oh, well, thank you for telling me. Yeah, and it turns out that his sister's a lesbian too. And he turns around and like the whole conversation starts up all over again. Where, don't tell Raven anything, because Raven will tell it to someone else. You want to keep your lips sealed around this guy. And after all,
which makes me wonder why like they have good relationships with the Garu, because wouldn't the Garu be kind of?
It's that
like because I mean he's a snitch,
Yeah.
like he's a literal snitch.
Yeah, you look at the Garu. You do what Silas is doing in our Ridge Cross Russia game. I will pay you to not say this. If this information comes back to me, I'm asking you for a refund, or there's going to be a punishment for this. You gotta buy the Korax. You gotta buy their silence.
Well, hold on. I think we're actually confusing the Korax with the Ravens, though, again, because it's the Korax that are actually the chatterboxes. But is Raven the same thing as his children?
I imagine Raven would be the same, where like him.
I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think so. I don't think Raven would actually gossip as much, because Raven is more of a wise, like more wiser, and would actually probably, because the Raven is a teacher. They're also a trickster. But I think if they're going to say or like speak about something, it'll probably be with purpose and not just for the sake of
he's not going to spread lies. Like everything he says is the truth. And
I would say that compared to a Korax, I don't think Raven has this urge to just vent and just like run their mouth.
He's going to tell you the truth about everything, and if you're saying something that's wrong, he's going to correct you on it. Where, Ryan, you're a big fan of Bob Lazar, right? You know who I'm talking about.
I have no idea who that is.
This supposed UFO expert that's been to Area 51, and he's worked there, and he knows all this stuff about aliens, and he saw the classified documents, and he says he was in Area 51 during the Cold War in the 70s. But then you look at his background, and Raven would tell you this. He says, "Oh, you're like Bob Lazar? Did you know that his wife was a convicted murderer with ties to the Hells Angels? And by having that person as a wife, there was no way he would have passed a background check in the 70s during the Cold War. So everything coming out of Bob Lazar's mouth is a complete lie." And then everybody.
Why does that make him a complete liar?
Because there's nobody who would have gotten clearance in Area 51 if you had a wife that was a convicted murderer with ties to the Hells Angels.
Was that before or after he claimed to have worked there? If he was working there before he got married, that wouldn't have been an issue.
Exactly.
He was already married to the woman after he applied for this, supposedly applied for this Area 51 job.
Yeah, and did she do the murders before or after he applied?
She did. She did the murders before he applied.
Are you sure about that?
Did they know about them?
Yeah. It will have come up if we did a background check on the guy where it comes up, "Oh, you're married to a convicted murderer." It will have popped up on the background check.
Stop giving Johnny the 3rd degree.
There it is. Did she kill that person? I don't know. Can we pull up the criminal records right now? Do I need to go through and like Google search and pull up Bob Lazar's wife to pull up the background?
All right, here I go.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's his wife that did the murder. It's not him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yes, but when you have a government clearance background check, they check into your relationships.
Yeah, because conflict of interest kind of stuff. And if you had
you might not be a spy, but your wife might be a spy.
And your wife has ties to the Hells Angels.
But she wasn't. She was just a murderer.
She had ties to the Hells Angels as well, and that's organized crime. So you just can't have any criminal ties whatsoever. Where, if you're going for like government clearance like that, they check everything. Just everything you guys checked.
Wow.
And
well, I don't know.
If you apply to work for a bank, they will do a background check on you. And if you've never committed embezzlement, oh, that's great. Oh, but we see your partner has. We can't hire you. It was like, why not? They've committed financial crimes.
Yeah, but back in the 70s, it was a little easier to actually make a fake identification.
Which is why Bob Lazar was able to get away with all the stuff he was talking about, because nobody questioned him on this. You said, "Oh, did you work for Area 51? You did? Okay, great. We'll believe everything you tell us." And then he goes on Joe Rogan. And then he goes on Joe Rogan and gets 13 million views.
Well, has Secret Service denied that he ever worked at Area 51? I'm pretty sure that...
they say that Bob Lazar never worked with them. We've got the whole Bob Lazar rabbit hole we got here after talking about Raven.
So I heard that it was the opposite, or that they actually did admit that he did work at Area 51 at one point.
You got Raven over here telling you all this information that you know is false. Yep, right. All right, let's get off of Bob Lazar for heaven's sake. Let's get back on the totems. All right.
Yep.
All right. So Raven, he will grant you 3 extra dice in survival, 1 in subterfuge, and 1 in enigmas. Each pack member gains 1 wisdom point, and all Korax will be friends with you. The ban, Raven expects you to carry no wealth. Raven will be the one to handle all of your finances. You're not allowed to have any money of your own. Great.
He'd be a good totem for a silent strider.
Yeah.
Although I will be very mad.
And a glass worker would be absolutely livid if that was a totem. Saying, all my stocks are useless now. I have to hold on to my stock. I can't liquidate any of my assets while this guy's my totem. Are you serious?
Yeah, you can't.
How often does a glass walker travel, really?
For business, if you got deals to make with the Giovanni.
I don't know. Even Bonar would actually like that idea. It's just like, I think it would just make... It's just the idea of, like, you don't have to keep track of your finances. Like, you're stable, you're fine for good, you know? But the only problem is that you just can't get any richer. Yeah. That's all.
You can't do it yourself. You become a socialist when you follow Raven.
That's a deal breaker.
Let's see. All right. Let's see.
Right?
Well, look at this. What was this? TC Garu. Let's take a look at this set. Let's see if there's like any information on this. I think Bat was on this site. I was here once upon a time. Oh, they have their own custom totems here. Huh. They have B as a totem. I don't know. If you had B
totem.
Yeah, if you had a
what does
B
B
totem.
do?
If you had a B,
what does B? I'm curious.
It's homebrew. I'm seeing on the site. It's description. B is a complicated totem with many faces. They are small but capable of defending themselves. Bees and honey are also associated with fertility in some areas and are considered good luck for couples trying to conceive. Bees help shepherd the dead in the afterlife and are often the telltale signs of an important event. You get 2 free points in the Ancestors background. I don't know how that works. 1 point in Enigmas, 1 point with Melee, and a retest when dealing with fertility. Well, this just got sexy. The ban, as bees continue to struggle to survive, you must keep a garden to support bees and participate in beekeeping activities.
Interesting.
You
know what? That would actually explain how the bear got access to that ritual.
Yeah, from talking about the honeybees.
Yeah.
And there it is. The whole Winnie the Pooh story that could create a totem. There it is. But the whole fertility thing that kind of like ties back into like Galliard. My mind immediately goes to Galliard, but I automatically see totem and fertility in the same sentence. I'm looking at this. So
wait for the homebrew.
Yeah, with bees too. You guys watched Candyman, didn't you? The horror movie, where
the horror movie.
Right.
I know the movie. I just never saw it.
And like Candyman as a character was an artist before he got killed from an unrighteous death, and he had all of his bees with him. And the reason why he was associated with bees is that first of all, that's how he died from bee stings. But bees are a symbol of an artist because bees will build hives, and it's this Euclidean shape that forms in nature, and they have artistic associations. And with Candyman being an artist when he was alive, that's why the bees stick with him. And I imagine you have... I would honestly like put points in performance if you took bee as a totem. Like just building stuff and making stuff with a bee. Where if you have a very artistic social group of Garu, bee would be a totem that I would advocate for. Even though he gives you...
Bee, as well as ants and termites, are all just weaver totems.
There it is.
Man.
You think bee has a...
Is there an ant totem? Like a fire ant totem?
And fire... I swear there is. I think there's an official one. I think there might be. There might be. I gotta get back to you on that.
We know what? I think we can actually... You know what? I'm gonna pull out my little pocket animal spirit tarot deck.
So you're gonna pull up something?
Yeah, because...
What?
Yeah, because there's actually there's actually a fire ant card in it. Hold on a second.
See, and speaking of totems that are fan made, Rap Red, our friend and cast member, sent me one that he made himself. All right, tell me what you guys think of this while he's doing the divination. All right, so he made White Eagle. Originally from Falcon's brood, but after seeing what Falcon did to the Sorfangs and perverting the meaning of heroism, he fled to form his own group. He settled in Poland. That's how you know it's made by Rap Red. He settled in Poland in ancient times and adopted the Serpent of the Shadow Lords. The Sept of the Shadow Lords first, but after they showed him their true colors, he left for Fenris, and then the Black Furies, and then decided to just settle with being a regional totem. Guiding young Guru and correcting old... there's a bit of a typo on this. Guiding young Guru and correcting the old ways, that being a hero does not simply mean screaming and running into the enemy counts as heroism. You start teaching people how to be a hero the white way. Your death isn't supposed to inspire. Your life is made to protect those around you. See, he made up a realm for him too. Eagle sitting on the massive single nest inside of a gigantic tree. Open space is relaxing and can be used for combat training and teaching. The way he describes White Eagle, gentle demeanor of a teacher that tries his best to give an answer, and then he switches to an unforgiving warrior that will despise a dishonorable combat. See, I think there was a type on that too. Tribute. White Eagle wants to hear about your heroic deeds and wants to know what you've done to earn your status as a hero. Background cost 5, tome perks. When you gain any sort of temporary points in honor renown, you gain an additional point. When you reach rank 2, you automatically learn the gift Eagle's Embrace for free. Your ban, when you act dishonorably, you lose permanent points of willpower instead of renown. Ooh. And Silver Fangs are hostile towards your pack if you follow him.
I mean, Eagle's great.
Oh.
Hostile as in kill on sight, or hostile as in we refuse to acknowledge you or help you out?
They'll refuse to help you out, and then they'll send the Spiteful Sealed over to your area to steal your fetishes when you're not looking.
So, looking at Fire
Bastards.
Yes.
Looking at Fire Ant, they seem to have a very OCD kind of personality, but when they are correcting things, they do it with a very passionate fire.
Yeah.
That seems off, and after they're correcting it, they're probably bitching at how wrong that is, and they'll probably tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
It's a very Fire Ant energy.
I came in here before you read it off, and I was like, I want to absolutely bust Rafford's balls over this. But no, I actually really like it. I think that's really good.
Yes.
Well done.
I'll read this off. Fire Ant energy flares up without us noticing. It is a force that attracts us to people in situations that feed our imbalances, rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned Fire Ant's energy. That misaligned Fire Ant's energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing, quote unquote, on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. Yeah.
Let's see. And the minute somebody steps in your house, you bite them. Just tear him up, kick his ass.
Oh no, they can come into your house, but were they invited?
No, just invite themselves and just make themselves at home.
Since when do ants ask permission for anything? They just do it.
Yeah, when was the last time?
Especially during a hurricane.
Yes.
When was the last time you stepped on an ant colony and you weren't surrounded by them?
Yeah.
You know?
I was very, very little.
You drop a cigarette on them and they start spiraling.
Yeah, so if you were to give stats for a fire ant, I would say, I don't know, maybe a point and brawl and perception, and
your bite attacks will deal poison damage.
No, fire ants aren't poisonous.
Oh, sorry, no, not that. It'll just cause an automatic wound penalty on top of the already existing wound penalty because the area will be inflamed.
Or you could just have it, or after you deal damage to it, they deal an additional damage on the end at the beginning of their next turn or something like that. Yeah.
Or if your pack has fire ant as their totem, you can all just hug together and then float on top of water.
I'm pretty sure that Garu are buoyant.
I mean super buoyant, you just float on your
Amazing.
feet and hands.
See, there it is, New World Trinity. Thank you, Sight, for bringing it up. There it is.
Yep.
Right.
And the ban, I would say, would be when you're correcting things that are imbalanced, you have to tell everybody that you had corrected it with a fiery passion.
There is. See, can we make Rhinoceros Beetle a totem and have it be that you get an exoskeleton for taking him?
No, Rhino is probably part of Unicorn's brood because he has one horn.
No, the Rhinoceros Beetle.
Oh.
There it is. So
that would also be a Unicorn's brood because one horn.
You get a big damn bug.
Yeah. This little booklet of spirit animals is actually pretty great if you want to get inspiration. The one for B, the B personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once, since they're artists. Yeah, you're right. They actually are.
Yeah.
There's a certain artistic flair to them. Huh.
What's the name of this book?
It is my The Wild Unknown Pocket Animal Spirit Guidebook. It is for my animal spirit deck, for tarot reading and shit. Yeah.
So, Let's see, The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Book. There it is. I see pictures of it. There it is. It is $25.94 on thrift books.
And the art art on the cards is actually pretty cool. I like it.
Let's see, pulling up images. Huh. Take a look at this. Zoom in on this. Jamie, pull that up. Yeah, unicorns in this book, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Unicorn is a very special one.
Yeah. Let's see, Unicron. And there's Peacock right there, FCM. Let's see.
Yep, there's Peacock. Like, they have almost all the if you can find a totem for like a werewolf and you need inspiration, like, this is a great book.
Let's see. In fact, I made up a totem myself for the tribe that we made, the Summon Vion, and it was Peacock. So, I type in Peacock, I type in Peacock, get Peacock TV. Let's see. Shall I bring up my own totem that I made up by myself?
Bring it.
All right. How much do we know about Hindu myth?
Not a lot.
All right.
Not a
Practically
lot
nothing.
All right. So with it, it's kind of I might be a little bit offensive just calling it myth, but there are the 3 Hindu gods. Brahman with the big N is the god with a capital G that created the world. But then he spun off 3 gods from him: Brahma, the creator; Vishnu, the preserver; and Shiva, the destroyer. Where, if you took that into Werewolf the Apocalypse, that would be the Wild, the Weaver, and the Worm, respectively. And all 3 of them have wives. The wife of Vishnu being Lakshmi, where one of her big associations is the Peacock. Peacock, the totem, I had it be that he has spiritual connections with Lakshmi, the quote-unquote wife of the Weaver. And he's spoken directly to the other incarnations. He spoke to Vishnu, he spoke to Shiva, he spoke to Brahma. He knows the Triad. He's had conversations with the Triad. And after his conversations, he's come back down from this the celestial world in order to share with his tribe, the Samanvaya, what he has learned from his conversations. He goes back and forth between heaven and earth in order to have further conversations. The only people he can really talk to anymore are Brahma and Vishnu. Shiva, he's fallen out of contact with because Shiva, as we know, is bound by the Weaver. You can't really talk with somebody who's stuck in, I don't know, the deepest realms of the Weaver that the Weaver doesn't want you to come in contact with, because the Weaver is convinced that you're going to try to free him. But the whole idea is that this is a spirit messenger.
Isn't Shiva the destroyer?
Shiva the destroyer, yes.
Then shouldn't he be the worm?
That is the worm, yes. The one that
you said the Weaver.
No, the one that Peacock is talking to the most is Vishnu, who in this story would be the Weaver. Along with bringing the wives in, because I left it open-ended as to who would Lakshmi be in this situation. Who exactly would the wife of the Weaver look like? Or if you're going with the idea that the Weaver is a woman, what would the husband of the Weaver look like? After all, any ideas from you, Eden?
No, none.
The Weaver has a spouse. I don't know. Ryan, if you were to give a spouse to the Weaver, what would that look like?
A spouse, the Weaver?
Yeah, it's getting crazy like that.
The Glasswalkers?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Or something similar.
Yeah. And the other big thing I loved about Peacock, he knows that there is a being that exists above the Triad. He knows that the Triad didn't just create themselves. He knows about something else being out there, but he doesn't fully understand what that is. He knows about Hunter the Reckoning. He knows about Demon the Fallen, but he doesn't know how to explain it. Is what I've got going on with Peacock right now. And what I've got with him, in terms of his personality, he speaks like a child. He has a kid's vocabulary, but his words are powerful. Whenever he speaks, he always phrases something in a way that everyone understands. He's calming, he's charming, he's the guy that you want to be around and the guy that you want to listen to.
Speaks like a child, so he speaks like a Mormon wife.
You say that from experience, right?
Well, apparently, I watched a video, that's kind of what they're taught to actually speak like.
And every time he speaks a sentence, Peacock will pause and wait a moment. If the person he's speaking to has something to say, that's the time for them to say it. If they don't have anything to say, then Peacock will just pick up from where he last left off. He's going to be a mentor, but he knows that a lot of his information is very esoteric, very complicated. He's going to try to explain it in a way that anyone can understand. And in order to pay tribute to him, you just need to meditate to him. You just need to reflect, keep your rage in check, Don't become a spirit of wrath. You have a human brain. Use your human brain for something. As for how I stat him, he has 5 points as background cost. Totem perks, he will give you 1 level in Enigmas, 1 level in Occult, and 1 level in Rituals. Additionally, the Umbra, you will float instead of falling if you step off an elevated ledge. You don't take fall damage, you just float with him. Ban, Peacock wants his students to keep a sound mind, so he'll remove 1 temporary rage from your sheet at the start of every sunrise and every sunset. He doesn't take away permanent rage, though. So that's what I got with
Still,
him.
that's
Sounds
so
to me
nasty.
like Peacock could probably teach like a very complicated kind of course.
Yes.
Because like they could teach you calculus or even teach you how programming works.
Yeah. Where Peacock knows a lot of stuff and can teach you all this stuff. He's like Raven or Cody when it comes to that kind of role. And of course, with his tribe, the Summon
That's
Vian,
my kind of teacher.
Yeah, they want to recruit as many kinfolk as possible. The Summon Vian wants to balloon in size. So if there's a guy that wants to learn, go ahead, invite them in, make them a kinfolk. See about initiating them as soon as possible. If they can be trusted, make them a kinfolk.
Do they have to be South Asian, or can it just be anyone they deem?
Anybody.
Okay.
They started in India and then have spread across the entire world. But their strongholds and their biggest steps are in India. And Intergen, you had an idea about the rage?
No, not particularly.
Yeah.
No, I just think that's certain Banes should be. There's nothing against Banes being damaging.
Yes.
And that's a cost for the benefits.
Yes.
It's definitely mitigatable, but it's definitely something you'll notice.
Yeah, because this is a totem more for the social Werewolf of the Apocalypse game, not the super ragey warfare kind of Werewolf of the Apocalypse game. And Dan, I know you have to leave soon. Dan, do you have any totem ideas? Because I'm about to bring up Red Dragon.
No, actually, I don't work tomorrow.
Good.
So,
you want to talk about Red Dragon? Let's bring up Red Dragon now.
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. So Archie's not here to gush about this because he likes what I did with Red Dragon and Werewolf of the Apocalypse 3.5. But Red Dragon is another spirit I made, going off the idea of Falcon ditches the Silverfangs after they lose their position of power to the Shadow Lords, and this is the totem that takes their place. You remember Grigornis Deathwing from Rage Across Russia?
Yes.
Yeah. This is his corpse brought back to life, fueled off of the rage and embarrassment and shame of the Silverfangs. It speaks to his corpse. He revives as this dragon on fire, and he says to the Silverfangs, "You killed me. I will be servile to you, and I'll make an agreement with you. If you venerate me, if you pump as much spirit energy into me, as empowering me into me as possible, I will help restore your role as the Kings of the Garo Nation." It's a devil deal that he sets up. And the Silverfangs, seeing no other alternative, take the deal. And now you have a former worm totem as a tribe totem with the Silverfangs, is the idea. So, what do you think of this premise?
You want to learn alone? Uktena is one.
Yeah. Because after all, having worm totems associate with each other, because like Uktena knows that this is an evil worm totem, so to speak evil, but Red Dragon knows the same. And if he wanted to, Red Dragon could just leak out everything that Uktena knows and just reveal and expose all of his plans before he gets a chance to. So, make your next choice of words very carefully, Uktena. And what is his personality? Hatred and anger. Red Dragon is pissed off at all times. He is the embodiment of all the shame and all the guilt and all the rage of the Silverfangs, having lost their power brought into one totem. He wants to go around and just destroy whenever he's summoned. You summon Red Dragon, he'll answer the call, and he'll burn down everything in front of him. This is the whole myth of dragons coming in and destroying everything in sight, instead of the beneficial dragon, Seiryu, that's associated with the Stargazers. And this is also, if you had Green Dragon in the hands of the Garo Nation, this is what he would look like. Because after all,
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Where is the studio notes?
Let's see. Oh no, I didn't post them in studio notes.
Where'd you post him?
He is in our 3.5 book.
Oh, okay.
What page?
Page 165.
Page 165.
Yeah, I just have a big picture of a red dragon up on screen for this. Alright. So, what does he do for you in terms of stats? I made this guy super strong on purpose. His tribute, by the way, burnt meals. Before you eat something, he wants you to set it on fire before you eat it, and let 10% of it be burnt. If you have money you offer him, burn 10% of the current amount. If you come to him with material goods like clothes, burn 10% of it and send it off. It's the whole Christian, give me 10% of your income, give me 10% of what you've got, and then I'll give you my benefits.
Well, dragon needs to hoard his wealth.
Yes, it'll gain his wealth by you burning it, and it gets brought into his realm. Where you go into his realm, it's in the northern Caucasian region of Russia. Is this massive dragon that is constantly on fire. You cannot step into his realm because you will die of the flames if you step into it. And his benefits. What?
And you have to offer burnt offerings to Red Dragon.
See.
Whatever he asks for.
See. His background cost? 8. Your perks? All of Red Dragon's packs will learn the gift Master of Fire upon taking him as their totem. Additionally, his rogues can call upon him to get up to 5 points of temporary rage per session. Your ban? Pirates of Red Dragon must never retreat from the worm. If a minion of the worm is identified, the werewolf must pursue him and kill him. Allowing the worm to escape in any situation is unforgivable. That's what you get with him. So this guy is meant to be geared towards combat. If you're going for a war game kind of campaign, this is who you want to take. Is how I built him. Let's see. Here's what we think of this. We brought him up before in our 3.5 introduction video, but let me see. It's been a few months since we released it. What do we think of this guy?
I mean,
sacrilegious.
It's sacrilegious with Sword of Fangs falling from power. Yeah. See, lay it out there, Jared. Tell me like it is.
I mean, I don't have a problem.
Literally just that. It's just like it seems very. It's just sacrilegious. You know, you're using the precepts of Christianity for something else. It's very taboo.
Yeah, to boost a red dragon. Because after all, I want for that section of 3.5, I want to use a whole tribute section because the totems never really list like how you're supposed to venerate the totems whenever you followed them. So I made that up with Red Dragon, and the model I used. Well, what kind of religion does Russia follow? Orthodox Christianity. How do you make offerings to God with that? Well, this is how you do it. So I copied it over for Red Dragon, and that's what we got. Going off of,
I mean,
this is what the Sword of Fangs do as in culture. This would also attribute over to Red Dragon.
I mean, I see no problem with it. It seems fine.
There we go.
Oh yeah, there's no problem with it. I just like
Yeah,
it's the first thing that comes to mind.
And
I think it's okay. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not really excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's.
There we go. It's not the world breaker because. If I were to give him the power, you can just breathe fire with this guy. Basically, any game that you would run in 3.5 that had a Sword of Fang, a Burning Crown in it, would go for this guy, and then that'll be it. Because after all, Green Dragon gives you the whole, like, I can breathe cancer fire ability when you take him. Speaking of
I don't know, I probably still wouldn't take a Burning Crown just because their starting willpower is 2, and that is just not very appealing.
Yeah, but the gifts, you can set stuff on fire.
No gifts.
Honestly, if I were to play a 3.5 game, I probably would play a Burning Crown.
Yeah.
I think I had no as someone who loves the Ventru, the Silver Fangs have never appealed to me.
Yeah.
But the Burning Crown, I like the idea of they're on the down and out and they're fading fast, but boy, they're not going out quietly.
And Archie approached me when we were doing the Christmas special, and he said he wanted to play as the Burning Crown. But I said, well, this game takes place before 2016. There's still the Silver Fangs. So I made Nero. And then in an event I used Nero again as a character. This is after the kingship that he just got in Rich Carl's Christmas is stripped from him after only reigning for 9 years. and just what that would do to him as a character. I'd be excited to bring back Archie for another game, with him playing as Nero. And see, I've got Green Dragon up on the screen right now because we're talking about Green Dragon. Why the White Wolf wiki doesn't have his information up on the screen? Are you kidding me? We have his background cost with 9 points, and then that's it. Let's see here. I'm getting some stuff with this.
White Wolf wiki is not always the best source of information.
For changing to dreaming, it is, because everything in Changeling's books is transcribed over to the wiki. I don't know why you went all in on changing the dreaming.
It's very simple, because no one cares about Changeling the Dreaming, so no one cares about the fact that it's technically going against Paradox's copyright.
Yeah, there it is.
There's also not as many books for Changeling.
Changing the Dreaming, but...
Oh, yes. Yes, there is.
We got the Kith books.
Oh my god, there's so many Changeling books.
Not all the Kith books had to be finished. We had to wait for the Boggins and the Knockers for 20th edition before they've got their books.
That was part of the reason why White Wolf went under. They did start focusing more on video games and not have really any studios to make games for them. But also, it's just they were releasing so many books that were just not profitable.
Yeah, it was the reason why Telltale Games went under. And
that too.
I see, but I think
they sort of overburdened themselves. So it's slightly different.
I see here with Dream Dragon. Let's see, it gives you 3 points of willpower, and then you can just soak any source of damage whatsoever. This includes silver and this includes fire. So, background cost 9 with him too, and you get access to Balefire when you take him as a totem too. So, I don't know. I don't know about Green Dragon. It's good, but at the same time, it's the Cancer Fire. It gives you cancer for using it.
I mean,
that's a terrible setback.
Yeah, because
how do you get cancer for
the Balefire? That's what it gives you.
How does a werewolf get cancer when he can just regenerate himself?
Well, that's what
that's the issue with cancer. Cancer is not an injury. Cancer is you regenerating.
Yeah.
Regenerating and stuff that you don't need.
And then you don't stop generating, and that's what worm corruption does to you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense. You just can't die from the cancer.
To be fair, the Balefire doesn't immediately give you cancer, just prolonged exposure.
Yeah, just prolonged exposure. Like, the more you use this power, that's super awesome, and you're definitely not supposed to use it, but then you use it anyway, and then you get cancer from it.
Well, I do like the idea of Green Dragon granting you, like, dots in your strength.
Yeah, after all, this is a dragon. It's a force of destruction. You gotta have that. Let's see.
If you're exposed to Balefire for too long, if you're a guy and it turns you or corrupts you.
Yeah. I say you gotta have strength as a dragon, even though I didn't give strength points to Red Dragon. Let's see here. Minotaur. You want to talk about Minotaur? You want to talk about Samuel Haight?
No, but let's talk about Minotaur.
You want to talk about the dumbest story ever made? Now, why is Minotaur Samuel Haight's totem?
Didn't we just talk about Minotaur?
Yeah, Minotaur. Now, I want to know, why did the skin dancers take Minotaur as their totem?
No one else was available.
Yeah, no one else.
Because they're seen as an abomination?
Yeah, it says, this is like the former...
Because children of... right, because the children of Gaia and the
Apis
and the werewolves, they used to mate a lot together. That's why.
So he goes over and he takes...
Samuel Haight is a children of Gaia kinfolk. That's why.
Yeah. So he
That's a point.
And he remembered that Minotaur existed, and so he calls up the dead totem of the Apis and gets him on their side, and he becomes he's a totem of corruption. He's a worm totem in this. Where Phil's bad, man. Maybe this guy had good benefits while he was with the Apis. There's 2 pictures of him. But looking at this stuff, okay. So what does this guy give you? Does this guy have stats anywhere? I'm not picking up Skinners. I'm not getting Skinners. I'm not doing that. Let's see here. Through his parlance, skin dancers learn gifts from other spirits. His band is that followers of him have to act in rivalry against Pegasus and her chosen tribe of Black Furies. Oh, so you just hate women with Minotaur.
Why?
Great.
Greece.
Yes, because Mama Pegasus loved Mama Medusa loved Pegasus more than Minotaur.
Pegasus isn't a woman though. It's a hermaphrodite.
It started off Pegasus started off as a man and then became a woman through prayers.
Well, if you just because you cut off a man's junk doesn't mean that you're not a man.
They prayed the penis away and then it became a vagina. Yeah, there it is. They just hoped and prayed for it to leave.
No.
They hoped and prayed for it to go away, and then it did.
No, no, that's not how it works.
You believe in a male pregnancy Pegasus. That's the only version you'll accept.
A male pregnancy.
Yes. There it is.
God.
Bobby's penis is about to burst as he gives birth.
Look, I'm just following the real lore, okay?
given how the Black Furies view men and why they chose Pegasus as a totem, I'm surprised they haven't gelded their male metas.
Yeah, they're probably.
Why would they bother? Like they're already infertile.
Yeah, they're already infertile. Like the penis
Black
can't
Furies
do
believe.
Yeah.
Black Furies believe that if you don't have working junk, you aren't a real version of that gender.
Yeah.
By the same logic, they absolutely despise female metas because they view them as mockeries and false women.
And then the whole issue with the transgender question with the Black Fury is how half of them accept the idea, half of them don't.
Also, I'm pretty sure like not a guy not having testicles doesn't make them very, very good fighters.
No,
they kind of need that. They kind of need that testosterone.
You need that T. The low T werewolf doesn't get any promotions. He doesn't get any honor, renown, or glory. See, if we had an Apis aligned Minotaur, how would we stat him? If we kept the background cost at 6, because Minotaur's whole thing, the Apis's whole thing was pregnancy and fertility, making the Cabbage Patch Kids. I don't know.
Don't you have like a totem, like what's it called? That frig. It's I was just there. Yeah, Asteris.
See, Asterius. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Asterius like an Apis?
Well, sure. If you want me to bring up my homebrew again, I can do that.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, Asterion. That's his name. And I can bring him up for you. So Asterion. Let me go ahead. Let's just get get that off my screen. Is that Robin Williams? Let's get out of here. All right, so Asterion, as I get this for you. So this would be, say, the children of Gaia never forget the memory of the Apis and continue to venerate them and remember them, and that would carry on with them adopting their totem, Asterion, where instead of letting him die, Asterion does die. The character Asterion, as part of the events of the Children of Gaia book, but then they keep him around and he becomes one with the totem. He becomes one with the identity of the totem, and therefore we have Asterion. Asterion becomes the name of the totem and not the name of the character anymore. I'm talking in circles, aren't I? Did anything I have to say make sense? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, Ryan,
not really.
Ryan, did you follow any of that? I don't know.
I'm spacing out.
Well, two become one is ultimately what I'm going for here. And see if as soon as I get this in front of me, let's see. Did I pull up? No, that's not even. Let's see, copy of the player's guide. I was in the wrong book. I'm sorry, guys. And let's see here. I got a steering for you. I'm definitely not trying to stall for dead air. Don't worry about me. I'm definitely not going to try to sound like Ethan Ralph for Review Tech USA while I'm doing an episode. Alright, here we go. I got it in front of me now. Okay. Background cost 7. Asterius gives all who follow him 2 points in etiquette and melee. Additionally, when wielding a staff, all attack rolls made to parry with that staff are reduced by 1. It's the same as you making a dodge roll in this case, to block an attack with the staff. Ban.
Cool.
Packs of Asterius must never let their rage dictate their actions. Asterius frowns upon werewolves who let their rage grow beyond 8 temporary levels and let it control them. Purge all unnecessary rage safely. Yeah.
Interesting.
There it is. Don't be super ragey. Because after all, we need a Children of Gaia martial totem that's not just Black Unicorn. How badly I pine for the campaign where we get to have Unicorn as a totem.
I mean, if you do the Rage Across the Heavens, I just might.
Rage Across Heavens. Gotta keep our fingers crossed on that one. That's enough Minotaur. See, we you want to talk about Hikaken or Bat? Hikaken or Bat? Which one?
Which one's Hikaken?
Hikaken. Let's talk about him then. So there's this picture up on screen for everybody. We'll just zoom right in on that crab face.
Hikaken? Hikaken, your mom?
Yeah, that's what he is. He is a former Shadow Lord who reached the bottom of Malpheus, got a wish from the worm, and became a totem of strength after making his wish. He's a traitor, is what he is. He's this gigantic half crab, half Tyrannosaurus Rex monster that just ruins people's lives.
Glorious.
That's what he is. So, you can get an idea as to who this kind of character is based off that backstory and based off of this ban. Bastards of Hikaken must instill fear in their foes before slaying them. You can automatically get an idea as to what this kind of character is.
Benedict Arnold?
I was thinking of like that yellow bastard from Sin City where he can't get it up unless the girl he's raping is screaming in the middle of it. Or those kind of like sadistic bastards that only want to like take control and torture their victims before they have their way with them or kill them.
What page is Hikaken?
Hikaken, Book of the Worm, first edition, page 77. Werewolves Player Guide 76. Book of the Worm, second edition, page 104. His background jumps wildly. It's 9 in Book of the Worm, first edition. It's 5 in second edition. And there we go. And looking at everything else he's got. What does he give you? He gives you the gifts True Fear and Icy Chill of Despair, along with 1 dice in Intimidation. Those are both good social gifts, but outside combat, nothing. This is kind of like a Black Spell Dancer that talks up a big game if they have Hikaken as their totem, but then doesn't have the strength to back it up. You know, cowards or bullies who just want to lord over somebody when they don't really have any real power. You know, you already get the idea of like what kind of villain I'm talking about. I think that's enough to talk about with Hikaken. Let's see. Let's talk about. Eden, is there any other worm totem you want to talk about?
Not really.
Let's see.
Not any that come to mind.
Let's see, we already talked about Whippoorwill. You want to talk about the dark fungus?
Well, there's also Bat.
That one.
Yeah. Is after all.
You did say you wanted to talk about bats.
Yeah. So. See, but there's dark funguses information on the screen for you right there. You can read it off. It's the cheapest totem for a black sparrow. It's only 3 points. See, what the flip? Let me just go down here. Bat. So I hate the Camazot's backstory. I hate that. Oh, their scream summon the consumption worm, because that just comes out to me as, I don't know, why would the children of Bat want to do that as their last death throw, or why did the Shadow Lords kill them? Because the Shadow Lords spoke with the Ventru, the Bruja, and the Zimichi, and you expect me to believe that they just killed the bats on sight. You expect me to believe this plot?
You gotta read W20 Shattered Dreams.
It's Shattered Dreams. There's no way you can make that plot point make sense to me. It's just so bad to me, the whole Camazot's plot point. It's the same with the Bunyip. You're just there so you can die, and that's your whole character. You're just here to die. That's it. That's all you're here for.
I mean, there's like a more interesting story with just Bat the Spirit, the Totem, because I'm pretty sure there was a Shadow Lord in New Mexico traveled
into
Malpheus. Yeah, and retrieving like a non-corrupted version of Bat.
Yeah, where I got the whole story up on my screen right there. I remember we went over his name in the Shadow Lords episode, but I
can't remember his name.
Yeah, the idea that this is a worm totem that's being redeemed is the interesting part with that.
Yeah.
Because after all, bats, like the whole idea of like them like spraying diseases, like how much of this is like wives' tale or exaggerated kind of stuff. You can get disease from a bat. You can just walk into a bat cave and like the bat's like shit and piss all over you, and then you die of a virus in 2 hours. That can happen.
To be fair,
what?
They're also a host species for rabies.
Yeah. So it is. So you can't get a sickness from a bat, but they're not like out like causing pandemics or anything like that.
Weren't the Camazots also messengers?
They were. That was part of their shtick, and the reason why, I don't know, it kind of feels like the Camazots were kind of half-baked, because I don't know, didn't we have, like, I don't know, like 2 other messengers besides the Camazots?
Yeah.
is after all. Looking at Bat, how would you roleplay Bat with this character?
So, hear me out.
Yes.
Like, the way bats have been interpreted through society is that they've been fearful of them because they are evil.
Yes.
And I would actually use that as a reason as to how they fell to the worm, where they are whatever they say, whatever you say. Yeah, I am whatever you say I am.
You perceive me as evil, so let me be evil.
Yeah, fine. Fuck you. I'm gonna be evil. Yeah. And so I don't know. Maybe Eminem kind of attitude would work.
I'll tear myself down before you can tear me down.
Actually,
that kind of attitude. And so he just like willingly gets in bed with the worm, makes the devil deal, just so he can go along with what he perceives as his own destiny. And you go along with like this villain that can't really like bring himself to be evil because he's still fundamentally a good person, but no, this is the life that he feels like he's forced to live, so he's a villain because of that.
Yeah, he feels like he has no choice, but there actually is a good side to him. He just needs to surround himself with the right people and the right and he just needs to get rid of the toxic people in his life.
Yes. I don't, Ryan, what do you think of that idea? You got any ideas, Ryan?
Pretty good one.
See, I don't know. If you, how sympathetic is Bat to you?
That sounds like a compelling idea. I think.
Yeah. Is it? After all, how compassionate would you be towards Bat, Ryan?
Personally, not very.
Not very, because he's still with the devil at the end of the day.
Because I just don't like bats.
Don't like bats.
I have a rational fear of bats.
Rational or irrational?
Rational.
Yeah, irrational.
See,
when you watch a bat fly out around a corner and fly straight at you, you know it's personal.
It's screeching at you. It's coming at you.
No, it's because they can't see where they're going.
The bat is stupid.
No. That thing followed me up the stairs and down the hallway.
Maybe you smelled like bugs.
Bats have exceptionally good eyesight. What are you talking about? No, this was a personal attack.
It was.
No, I'm with them. Bats are evil. Kill them all.
Because
maybe he smelled like fruit.
When you have like 30 plus bats flying around your house,
go out of the way not to mess with humans to begin with.
Yeah, but when you got
how they're nocturnal.
Yeah.
We straight up had a nest of bats in our house.
And because of this, Ryan cannot play ukulele. There's a bat in that game.
That checks out.
There it is. Also, we just concluded Rich Girl's Christmas 2. I'm just going to open this guy up. Yeah, I made this Black Sparrow Dancer character over here. It's AI generated, of course. Hanuin, where I'll put his ass up on the screen for everybody to see. and you guys thought he was a Shadow Lord when you first met him? I don't know. He's got wings coming out of his bat. I'm pretty sure this guy's got some sort of evil shtick going on with him. I'm really happy with how he turned out, by the way.
I can't see him, so yeah.
Yeah, see, there he is.
That bastard I never got to fight.
Yeah. Yep, as he just dipped in the middle of combat because he thought the idea of, the terrorist threat of bombing New York, that was just a stupid idea. So he just didn't participate.
God damn it, what did I miss those games? Oh, well.
Watch the last 2 episodes, you'll find out.
I should.
Yeah. Alright, so what do you get with Bat? Each pack member of Bat, your perception increases by 1 permanently, even if this would raise your perception above 5. And like permanently, even if you leave Bat, you still have that point. Pack members also gain 2 points of Wisdom Renown, and use the gift Ears of the Bat once per day for a duration of a scene. As a pack, you gain 3 dots of Enigmas. And Garu with this totem are regarded by just about every pharaoh of South America. This includes the Balam and the Makole. However, Garu look upon children of Bat with suspicion, and you will lose 5 points of temporary honor when Bat adopts you as a totem. That's a little steep, but you can earn that back. The band. What?
I wouldn't go with honor because that's very hard to get when you're a Shadow Lord.
Yeah.
I would say just maybe like a rank. Maybe lose a rank. I don't know.
Well, lose some wisdom.
Lose some wisdom, yeah, that would make more sense to me.
See, as a band, the redeemed part of Bat demands that his children never fight with Gaia's other children, including Garu. You basically just can't fight fair when you take Bat as a totem. I hope you like Fomori, because that's all you're fighting for your entire chronicle.
Fomori and vampires, I guess.
The occasional wizard.
I mean,
So
you
you're
could
saying
have
his
a
black
horde
spiral
of
dancers
dwarves.
are off the table?
Yeah, they're off the table.
But can you fight yourself?
No.
No.
You are a creation of
Oh
Gaia.
my god. Well, that's kind of difficult to maintain, like, Bat as a totem, because aren't Garu always fighting with themselves?
See, I must face myself. I am
Yeah,
a shadow,
it's
the true
your-
self.
Isn't your eternal... Well, actually, if you go by, like, my idea of what Bat is, that makes sense, because, like, a Bat can't struggle with their... struggle with who they are, because who they are is based on what everybody else's perception is, so... That
It's
would
great
actually
for
work.
red talents.
Let's see who else we got here. You want to bring up a sorcerer totem? Because we already brought up one with the city father and the city mother. See who
A
else?
sorcerer totem.
Yeah, sorcerer
Tell me
totem.
more.
See, we got.
Explain.
See, you want to talk about horse? You want to talk about horse or television?
Television.
Tell me
Television.
about television. I want to know about the television totem.
Television. See
Please.
what's on TV. So this is a totem that's in the Dream Speaker's book and Sorcerer's book. If you're a Dream Speaker, you can take a totem with the Dream Speakers. The Dream Speakers are the antenna by this point. Where there's a whole sub-faction of Dream Speakers called Techno Shamans that take this as their totem, and behold, you're now a antenna glassworker after you do that. That's basically what you are. You're conversing with the machine spirits, saying, hey, can you please fix yourself? I don't want to call a TV repairman. And you just talk with the TV, and the TV fixes itself. This totem aids in all forms of communication, providing a -1 difficulty modifier to all performance rolls designated to convince someone or con somebody. In addition, whenever a television is on or invisible, the character gains a -1 difficulty modifier to all stealth rolls, because of the powerful destruction that television provides. Finally, the difficulty of using all Mind Sphere magic on someone who's watching a television is reduced by 1. That's fantastic. Characters who
I would
also...
assume in
What?
a modern game that would actually be weakened, I think, because television is not that powerful nowadays.
And that will turn him into smartphone, the totem.
I was going to say just
Oh,
internet,
God.
but sure.
Or smart TV.
Yeah, smart
Or
TV.
just internet, really, I think. Or YouTube.
This seems like the kind of totem that ruins your own life more than any benefit it gives you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, apparently, you can take television to totem as a mentor, and gain minor trivia from him. You can roll awareness and wits, difficulty 8, to gain an assortment of random information from this guy. So just spam this roll, and you'll just get random intel from him.
I'm going to guess the ban is that you have to watch CNN and MSNBC.
See, the Dream Speaker
No.
can never turn off a television or turn the volume down. In addition, he must watch at least several hours of television a day, paying homage to this modern god. Anyone who has this totem and wishes to venture into the wilderness must carry a portable television with them.
I was going to say, if you take TV as a totem,
Yeah.
you must randomly. You'll have to eventually promote some advertisements
You have
during
to,
combat.
you gotta work for a TV
The
station.
quintessential Zoomer totem.
So, before I kill you, I just want to say that this fight is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
You just queued.
Don't tempt me. I have the copy pasta.
Yeah, that's the copy pasta in his hand right there. All right. Was it the Meninhui that you wanted me to talk about, Shani?
So what about horse?
Horse.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. We'll talk about horse first, and then we'll talk about the
We'll
Meninhui.
talk about horse, then you can. Yeah.
Right. All right. So, but Bomb's away. It's a horse. He had a big following back in medieval times. Now he's kind of fallen off because not many people use horses anymore. But if you're into barrel racing or if you're into rodeos, he's important. He was associated with nobles, merchants, prestige, commerce, travel, farming, and advances in combat. Now, some Giru don't really take this guy. This is almost entirely a kinfolk or dream seeker kind of totem.
Now hold on a minute. First of all, police still use do still use horses.
Yes.
And the Amish.
Yep. And the Amish, yes. And 2, I would imagine, like, horse as a spirit is very overused when a glasswalker Bonar is going to make a fetish car from a Mustang.
That is very true.
So apparently this guy is dirt cheap too, because he's only background cost 2. So what I get from this guy, he'll give you 1 dot in stamina, that's a given, and then as a pack he'll give you 3 points in animal kin and 2 points in ride. You may also call upon 3 points of willpower per story. The band as a Garou. Most Garou have little respect for horses' followers. He is a domestic animal. All social roles involving Garou are increased by 2. And a horse will ask that you never harm a domestic animal. As a sorcerer, or a dream speaker, horse is fierce and independent and expects its allies to behave in a similar fashion. Shamans with horses or totem may never act in a cowardly fashion and may never abandon their comrades or allies in battle. Also, while shamans with this totem may sacrifice and kill horses if necessary, abusing a horse or treating a horse without respect will earn you the totem's wrath.
So what you're saying is that a vampire with animalism and / or blood bonded / ghoul attack dogs is invincible?
Yes, you can't attack that.
You want me to read off the description of the horse spirit card?
Yes, tell us about the horse spirit.
So, it represents things like momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum so relatable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, exercise, and mental focus, meditation are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy.
There we go. So we go.
Yeah. See, I told you shouldn't underestimate horse.
If
horse is great.
The stubborn bastard as your totem. See, you can't.
They're majestic creatures.
See. Then Amenhue. Let's talk about lava. Now, Ryan,
really?
if you're playing as lava, how would you roleplay as him?
Very slowly.
Yes. He would also have a very, very quick temper.
Yes.
His smell is worse than his bite.
True.
He's got this weird, abstract picture of him too. What I'm looking at here. Copy that.
And every time he would go to speak, a bubble would form and then pop, and that the pop, as it pops, the words would come out as all the air rushes out.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
I would say, and he leaves very pretty looking rocks in his wake. He shits obsidian.
Let's see, there it is. Is now that fucking Wikidot is now taking my computer hostage with all these pop-ups. Okay, look at this. I also imagine that kind of like Granite. He's not really a guy for jokes either. That once again, talking to lava's like talking to a brick wall. And if lava's made up his mind on something, he's just going to keep going. But we necessarily lava is destructive and destructive only, because stuff that the eruption creates plenty of igneous rock that stays on the ground, and you've got new terrain being created from the lava. You gotta make he's making push around the continents underneath the earth with the mid-ocean trench.
He's both destructive and creative, though.
Look at him. You only need 4 points in background with him when you're playing as the Meninhue, but then you just need 7 points as a changing breed. Traits. Lava grants the Meninhue children the ability to shapeshift into molten lava. Well, sign me up for that.
Well then. Where the hell was lava when that fucking demon was in Pompeii?
Yeah, there we go.
Sitting there quietly watching.
There it is.
Biding his time.
Yes. See, this amazing ability costs the Meninhue 1 point of glamour per point, per turn to take this shape. Okay, that's expensive, but at the same time, lava. While molten, the Meninhue can flow into cracks and is searingly hot. They will ignite anything flammable that they flow over. Her pharaoh children will just gain the gift Gaia's blood. And it's similar in power, but costs more and costs Gnosis instead. The ban, Lava demands that her children never flee from an enemy but keep moving onward. So, a lot of kinship with the gift famous when it comes to inanimate objects like this. So we go. Why don't the gift famous have more inanimate objects as their totems?
They really should, because they're because being the spear of Gaia, like they're meant to be the spear that the hand holds, right? So you would imagine that they would go for spirits that have less of a personality and are just meant to actually do things, right? So,
the hammer hits the nail on the head. That's what it does.
Exactly. So they should have more spirit weapons of spirits of weapons or spirits of things.
Let's see.
I want to. My gun has the spirit of a Black Hawk
and
helicopter.
Let's go over one more of these. Let's cover the Nuinhi totem. Let's see here. Do you got... These are all plants. No, hold on, Ryan. I know what we're going to do. You brought up role playing as a tree before. We're going to cover Dogwood.
Hey.
All right, here it is. Okay, so he's a tree. Bombs away. Guess what? Would you like to talk to a tree?
Yes.
Well, the tree...
Why not?
You gotta get the lords to speak for the trees because the trees have no tongues. So what exactly does Dogwood have to say?
He speaks with the whispering winds of his breath.
Yeah.
He gets to drop something on top of your head and you have to deal with it.
You have to listen with your heart. You will understand.
It's usually an apple, but if you really piss him off, it's a coconut.
There it is. He sends his little minions over to
It is the giving tree.
He just drops stuff on you.
Come boy, climb upon my trees. Take my shit.
Take my leaves and make us fire with them. Do your smoke signals. Look at this.
Yeah, I never knew a lot of people hated that book.
the Giving Tree?
Wait, who hated the Giving Tree?
Who hates the Giving Tree?
Apparently a lot of people.
Those people can go die. The Giving Tree is a childhood classic. I will die on this hill.
The Giving Tree in years.
I know, but apparently it's because it gives the depiction of a very toxic relationship of like of somebody just like takes advantage of somebody else and it leaves them with nothing.
There it is.
I will fertilize the new Giving Tree with their corpses.
There it is.
Like I agree because I like the Giving Tree too, but I mean just.
Can we pull up the Taking Tree from Billy and Mandy?
Yes.
But apparently somebody actually did a rewrote the Giving Tree, like as a parody, and it's called the Giving Tree with very healthy boundary thing, something like that.
No, fuck it.
The Giving Tree who sets some very healthy friendship boundaries.
Let me just go ahead. Let me just copy this text. All right. Let's see here. I'm just gonna pull this up. Let me just copy that. I'll paste that in a blank page in a minute. I'm typing in what you just said. The Giving Tree with boundaries. So at the top, somebody finally fixed the name of the Giving Tree. Well, fuck off.
Yeah, the tree who sets healthy boundaries.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
And that's it.
It's very funny.
Just looking at this, the Giving Tree off alternate.
I think we're getting off topic though. We should probably go back to what we were doing.
Looking at this, we just need to read up. Just need to read off what like Dogwood does, and like what is this? This has got so much like hippie shit to it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I'm out. I'm not pulling this up. See, it's
okay. So what's this other tree spirit you were talking about?
So Dogwood, I'm pulling up what a Dogwood tree looks like. I'm just opening this up in another tab. Ah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, just white flowers, pink flowers, wide. I see a lot. There's a cemetery around here that's got a lot of these trees in it. See, let me type into why is Dogwood of all. See, Dogwood myths. Let me type this in so we can get better ideas how to play as a tree. See, Southern Christian Eastern legend that tells about how the tree was used to make the cross for Jesus' crucifixion.
Oh, geez, okay.
All right. Well, there we go. I guess we have the Messiah tree. Just looking at this.
So, Does frankincense and myrrh also have spirits?
We'll make them for our next supplement.
All right, then.
Look at this. It says, it's got a cross shape with 4 petals. It's got nail holes in the flowers. It was used to make the crown of thorns. Look at this. Huh, well, it's not really anything else. It's not what I was looking for, but it's a spooky connection. Kind of cool. Let's see. Let's see here. Let me just pull up blank page. Let me just go ahead. Let me just copy and paste what I just copied. No, that's the podcast notes I never used. I'm surprised I kept that. Alright, background cost 3 points. Traits. Dogwood endows her children with an additional point in charisma, as well as herbalism 2. Spelled herbalism wrong. No, it's spelled right. 2 or 1 point in medicine. And plant lore 2. I didn't know plant lore was a skill. Now I do.
All lores are skills.
Yeah, plant lore. The taboo, the ban. Dogwood's children must never deface themselves, and must carry a small dogwood trinket with them at all times. Let's see, type it in. Let's see, dogwood trinket. Let's see if I were to pull up a. Okay, that's. I'm gonna get a few Etsy pages. Look at this. Dogwood trinket dish. Well, that's not made out of dogwood itself. Here we go. Well, this is all very nice, fine china and all, but this isn't really what I'm looking for. There it is. That's an acorn that's made out of dogwood wood. So just carry a little piece of the tree with you, and then you get benefits from it.
So have you ever heard of this, of Methuselah? Not the vampire, like,
yeah, the biblical figure.
No, it's a tree. It's located in like the high ridge on Eastern California, in the Sahara Desert, and apparently it is the oldest known tree on Earth.
Let's see.
It's estimated to be 4,853 years old.
It's the Methuselah tree. I see it. It's all knotted. Where is this again?
It's in Sahara, Eastern California.
I see. It's all tangled up and mangled up.
Yeah.
Checking this out.
So if you were talking to the spirit of that tree, I wonder what kind of interesting things they would have to say.
Well, there's a wraith in the Tremere tree. The tree mirror. So maybe there's a wraith in this tree too.
Maybe.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Because based on like the how old he is, like
he screwed up the ritual. He deserved to be sacrificed.
Yeah,
what would he have actually seen during over 4,000 years ago?
Cut the tree down. There might be a ghost inside of it.
Whoa.
Do not. There's already a huge black market in people going and chopping down and cutting off pieces of those trees. Do not encourage it. They're natural
ghost
wonders.
in it. There's a ghost in this tree. It must be released.
There aren't ghosts in the tree.
There's an earthbound demon attached to it.
There are no ghosts in that tree.
The demon tree.
I swear.
Johnny has seen Fern Gully.
Yes. Hexus is inside of it. Let him out.
No.
There he is.
Like
Tim
like
Curry.
the wormwood trees that have faces in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Those creepy looking trees.
So, I was thinking.
There's White Walkers in the trees.
You know what would make a really good totem?
Tell me.
Harambe.
That fucking Ryan, you stupid motherfucker.
I'm actually homebrewing some meme totems.
Is Harambe? You mean like
to be fair,
are you talking about that gorilla?
Yes.
That died?
Yeah.
There's enough faith in him